you're on the couch, in the car, on your way home from work, or getting busy with your partner, we'll be here for the next 2.5 hours to keep you company. Welcome. Welcome to Story Lords, the fiction podcast with 2 prompts, 3 stories, a rock-hard dick, and infinite laughs.
2.5 hours of sex? What am I, 17?
What? How long is it before you have to call a doctor when you have a boner?
3 hours, I think?
4, it's 4.
Is it 4?
Guys, trust me, it's 4, I know.
I mean, I suppose it depends on how big it is, right? For some of us, it's 3 because of all the blood pumping to it. But for some of us, it's 4 because it's slightly smaller.
Yeah, for some of us, as soon as we get a boner, we have to call a doctor.
Yeah, pass out.
Hey, maybe if you ate something with more nutritional value than brown, you'd have more blood in your body.
But I do love some brown.
God damn, he never shuts up about brown.
I've just got a cup of gravy that I'm sipping on right now.
Oh my god.
It's in a teacup.
Oh, it's so meaty.
Still got chunks in it and everything.
That's gonna make me puke.
I am Rich, and with me as always is Jeff Pennington.
Hello.
And Josh Henderson.
Hello!
We're on episode 24, which means we've got 3 episodes left, including this one of this season. And
No, we have 2.
3 including this one. 26 in a year, 26 weeks, 26
Oh, we're
episodes.
including this one?
That's not how it works,
right
you
now. That's not how
dumb
it
bastard. What are you talking about?
3 including this one is what I just said.
But they already have this one.
All right, there's 2 left after this one. Then.
There we go.
Fucking pedants.
American math,
Americans
motherfucker. Let's
win
go.
again, baby.
Yeah, 32nd in
I
education.
mean, we haven't even told the fucking stories yet, but sure, there's 25 we've done. Fine.
24 or 624 episodes left.
Nice.
Our prompts this week were monoliths. Monolith? Is monoliths the plural of monolith?
Yeah.
Yeah, I would think.
Right, okay. And ice, which were hard for me to...
Which I definitely included when I was writing it and didn't just shoehorn it in about 2 hours ago.
Man,
Oh shit,
it's a good
ice!
thing one of us can follow directions.
I found it quite difficult to shoehorn mine in this week. I don't know about you,
I don't want to
fellas.
say that I didn't know what I was going to write about, but let's just say that might have been a possibility.
Right, yeah.
I know how it's going to end, but I'm just filling time at this point. I'm not even going to lie about it.
Fair enough. I mean, we're all filling time, really, aren't we?
Just in life?
In the life
Jesus.
sense, yeah. Filling time,
doing my time.
until the sweet, sweet release of death.
Oh, God, it's going to be great.
It is. It's going to be like the longest sleep.
Oh, I'm going to feel so good when I'm dead.
Yeah. Ready for the next life.
No. I'm done.
You're done. No great
I'm going
wheel
on
for
vacation.
Josh.
Yeah.
That's
no
it.
more karma wheel for me, motherfucker.
I mean, you'd come back as a bug. Let's be
No.
honest.
I'd come back as, like, I don't know, something cool.
A super bug.
Like a speedboat.
This is a good conversation. And I was paying attention the whole time.
I'm sorry, I couldn't stop laughing there and I started to talk. Oh man, I'm first this week, which is good because I have about 50% faith that this story is good. So we'll just see. It's called You Can Never Go Home Again, parentheses, but you probably should because the Technomancer is there, close parentheses.
Jeez.
So if you remember what happened last week, or last 2 weeks, the Technomancer was sent back to Ithia accidentally. So he is contained in the Ithian reality, and everyone else has to now make a decision about whether or not it's right to go and save potentially the billions of lives there, or leave him in one reality to rot and die.
Let him rot.
We're a comedy podcast.
Also, there's a titty.
I should probably say as well, there is a sex scene in this story.
There is a titty?
Tamia jumped onto the bonnet of a passing transport, then propelled
That means
herself
hood.
then propelled herself up in the air to wall run off the double-decked community vessel. She used the scaling claw Ludwig had made her weeks ago to dig and hold into the side as it slowly crawled down the busy public highway. The advert next to her showed a reclining woman in a swimsuit and sunglasses holding a meal replacement drink. "This is intolerable," Hijoki declared, shouting against the mid-morning rain. It always rained here. "How did these people stand for being so insulted all the time? I'm always bikini body ready."
He's a sock.
You're a slightly greying tube sock. You have no place on the beach, Tamia smiled. But where the hell would you store your money and keys?
Aww.
Hijoki looked aghast as Tamia vaulted to land atop a passing medical transport. There it was, ahead of them, their target. Well, Lionel naturally hates the sea, the sun, and the sand, so he could just watch it while I swim. At Hijoki's hurt grumble, she kissed the old sock atop his head. Of course we'd take you, you grumpy old foot fetishist.
Well, when you are a sock, I mean, that's pretty much
That's
it.
all you got,
God, I hope the
yeah.
sex scene is with the sock.
Their quarry turned off the main concourse and stopped, so Tamia jumped to the light pole, swinging around it before leaping into the air and landing in a perfect dismount. As the courier stepped down from his vessel, Tammy grabbed him by his shirt and pinned him to the side of the transport. "You inept fool. I've been waiting for that delivery all morning and you didn't even knock at the door. Where is your honour?" The courier was trembling. I'll push the bell, darling." You mean the bell that says, "Out of order, please knock loudly"? She eyed the side of his conveyance. UPS, does that stand for unorganised, pointless shitbirds?
Damn, I'm about to get delivery from them. You're fucking roasting them.
Tamia! She turned to the voice to find Lionel in a suit and tie. He was staring at her incredulous, along with everyone else walking down from London Bridge Station. Mookie lay breathless on their front atop the plateau, looking out into the nebula of this reality they called the Edge of Forever. It was a beautiful pinkish-green cloud-like nebula that vaguely looked like groups of dogs doing it in their natural style. It was an uncanny resemblance, and Mookie felt kind of second-hand embarrassed looking at it. They looked away, down at their new forelegs, the lithe femininity of them that made them feel just as uncomfortable as the dog orgy nebula. Or dorgy, as it were. Still not used to your new body, huh? Duke sat naked next to them, running a finger up Mookie's spine with the sound of a xylophone going down the scale. Dukes could make music out of anything with those fingers.
Damn.
Mookie turned to her with a smile. You seem to be enjoying it. Dukes picked up her guitar and started plucking at the strings, changing the nebula's colours to vivid reds. Me wanting you isn't anything new, Mooks. You were, are, and always will be beautiful to me. You being comfortable is the most important thing. Mookie sighed. What is it? Dukes asked. A shadow fell over them. Don't mind me, I am just catching sunbeams.
Oh my god.
Stoker plonked down next to them, rolling out a beach towel and slathering sunscreen over his hairy insect body.
Oh, what?
Stoker, Mookie said as they grabbed their robe, Dukes using her guitar to hide her modesty. What? The Atlas moth seemed oblivious before he noticed their nakedness. Don't worry, little pinheads, about it. I am not offended by brazen nudity. When you are billions of eons old and madder than a box of boomer conservatives angry at hypothetical situations of their own making, you have sexual drive of taxidermy snail. On a long enough timeline, we're all asexual. Believe Stoker. Dukes kicked Dukes kicked angrily at his sunscreen bottle, which left the gravity of their asteroid and floated into space.
That's all it takes? Fuck, this is unsafe as shit.
We wanted some quiet time. No. You wanted the sexing time. I calculated you would need no longer than 20 minutes as is optimal for the romantic sex. Was I wrong? Atlas shrugged, looking over his sunglasses. Dukes and Mookie looked at each other, feeling abashed by his accurate but wholly inappropriate assessment of their sex life. Just ignore me. It will be like Stoker am not here at all, Stoker said. So, what is it, Mookie? The pair looked at him with puzzled expressions, so Stoker explained. Mookie made this noise, and then you asked what was wrong. I was putting you back on track from before I interrupted. You're welcome. I'm invisible now. Mookie
He's the best character.
Mookie went to talk, but Stoker put his foreleg up. Before I'm turning invisible, do you have beer for Stoker in that cooler? No, they both said, hoping their expression would warn off any further interruptions. Stoker waved at them dismissively. So rude to poor Stoker. Duke shook her head and looked over at Mookie, who was pulling their robe back on. I feel bad that we're enjoying ourselves while the rest of us are... Stop, Mookie. We all agreed. Time off. No pressure to return if we couldn't face the fight. Those that want to talk about next steps can be at the rendezvous tomorrow. Fighting the literal embodiment of all despair and loss in the whole Omniverse was taking its toll. We'd just lost Ellie. We had to strike a balance. Dukes grabbed Mookie's confused face in her hands and squeezed. Oh, Mooks, that's it! Stoker sat up and pulled his sunglasses down. You find beer after all?
Why doesn't he look?
The Harvester lifted an arm and fired, but instead of laser, it fired out bubbles to a little tuneful medley. Fucking cheap modder chop shops, he cursed to himself. Oh no, bubbles, my one weakness that hasn't been revealed until this episode, Tabor shouted from the shadows. What, you mean really? The Harvester smiled. No, you fucking donkey, of course not.
Donkey?
Tabor pounced straight into the Harvester's other raised arm. His hand rotated back into his arm to reveal a butterfly knife, which sunk deep into Tabor's inky black torso.
Damn.
That, on the other hand, did hurt. Oh man, on the other hand, he chuckled. And people say I'm stoic and nasty.
Who says that?
Tabor turned the mass of his torso into a giant chomping mouth, which bit clean through the Harvester's wrist. The man howled in pain, pulling away a bleeding stump. Yeah, I don't know where they got that from. Blotch emerged from the brush behind them and jabbed the Harvester in the guts with the edge of her cudgel, as Tabor spat up the Harvester's dismembered hand and offered Blotch a high five with it.
That's amazing.
She turned it down immediately. Who are you guys? The Harvester wheezed, grabbing for the pistol from the front waistband of his trousers. Grissom emerged and grabbed the hand, squeezing the trigger for him and shooting a bolt of hot plasma into the cyborg's groin. The Harvester screamed in agony, a blood-curdling shriek that prompted a smirk from Graves. Don't worry. They can mod a new one for you from the few pennies I've got in my pocket. That's all the metal they'd need to replate your little chody original, right? As the Harvester looked up with fury on his face, Grissom kicked the man in the eye, sending him to the floor. One more down. So what now? Tabor said as he wrapped himself around the beaten-up Harvester like a boa constrictor and stood staring at Blotch and Grissom. Grissom was getting tired of the question. They had been in this reality for a month, helping this universe's Dukes of Lead track down and hunt their Harvester criminals. I catch your meaning, Tabes, but what's left to do? Grissom growled. We're not going to catch him with his pants down again, are we? The harvester raised his eyebrow. Do you mean me? Blotch slapped their captive around the head. No! Shut up, numbnuts! Tabor grimaced. Don't say catch him with his pants down. The Technomancer is billions of years old. I bet his shriveled ancient cock looks like an old man sucking a lemon.
Oh my god! What the fuck do you know what that looks like?
Well, thanks. I'm done with that now. Blotch threw the drumsticks she had been slowly absorbing in her internal acids into the deep forest to the sides of the path. How about we just go and kill him? Kill him until he's dead. Proper dead. Like deader than Gina Carano's career, Tabor said. You know we can't do that, Tabor. We'd all cease to exist, Grissom said. I get how you feel. No one wants that diseased piece of scrotum dead more than me. But for all we know, he's dying already. Blotch scoffed as they walked through the forest, harvester in tow. You don't believe that. The harvester cleared his throat. Well, actually, our Technomancer was killed. To be honest, it was a bit of a relief. I'd been kidnapped and forced to do her bidding, transformed into this abomination, and now she's gone and I can do what I want. Including stealing those Kyber diamonds that are in no way a copyright issue. Tabor squeezed, winding around the harvester. I didn't steal no Iceman. You got the wrong half-humanoid, half-killer cyborg. This is victimization. Blotch sauntered up to Grissom. Are we sure this is the guy? I mean, the warrant for a metallic villain from the Dukes was pretty sketchy. Description they gave us, we probably could have taken a smoothie maker into custody. Grissom chewed the inside of his own cheek. It was hard to disagree with her, but the way of the Dukes was to bring the body in and sort the shit out afterwards. The likelihood was that this scumbag cyber was guilty of something, right? The thought, his previously unshakable code, suddenly felt foreign in his brain, like a tumour, or when religious people just follow a code written to honour their imaginary friend.
So a tumor.
Yeah. Let's just finish this, he muttered. Steel Squid 2, this is Steel Squid 1, Ludwig spoke over the pocket radio. What? As he slithered through the air duct before dropping down to the hermetically sealed lab. I was of the understanding that I was Steel Squid 1 this time. Heath was in the lab on board the Swiftfeather, standing in front of the monolith of technology the pair of them had created, wrestling with the burned-out semiconductor that they needed to replace. I told you that I was going to be number one this time, Ludwig's voice squawked back through the radio. Plus, 1 is the loneliest number. I'm doing you a favour.
He's right.
I have it on good authority that 2 can be as bad as 1.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
That's a Tapon level joke right there.
That's amazing. I couldn't even laugh.
Ludwig swore under his breath. Damn Lionel leaving his Spotify account unlocked for them. It had been a bone of contention for 6 months now. When they had all agreed to take a break from worrying about the Technomancer, Ludwig and Heath had chosen to stay in a reality where time moved slower and there were no life forms left, so as to complete their experiments.
Models.
It's to do models. So as to complete their experiments. But 6 months together without their friends under such pressure had been difficult. But this day in particular was more stressful. They had 1 day left to swipe the semiconductor, install it, do what they needed to do, and finish the last 2 episodes of Downton Abbey.
Are you sure it's not 3? Are they watching one right now?
Well, I mean, that's a whole series, 3, right? It's a British series.
Oh, I never watched it. Is that how many episodes
No,
there
there's
are?
normally
3?
like 6 episodes to a British series. It's
God.
ridiculous.
Okay. So fast.
All quality, no quantity, right?
That's right. All the brown you can handle.
All the brown you can handle. Heath quickly tapped into the facility systems and turned every halogen bulb in the place back on, each one flickering with a slow hum. And as they came on, Ludwig wished they hadn't. At the end of the corridor, A gigantic set of hardware stood proud, with a long broadsword buried into it. The wielder of the sword still grasped the hilt in clasped hands, but had died hundreds of years ago, his skeleton wrapped in a blue half-cape gilded with what was once golden thread. He wasn't the only corpse in the room. 5 metres in front, Ludwig saw a skeletal humanoid bull slouched over a bank of computers, arrows sticking from his ribcage. Next to him lay a small cherubic angel, wings still perfectly intact as if rock had never touched them. The angel reached for another skeleton, who clutched at his stomach, a long rifle draped over them. Ludwig surveyed the rest of the room, gasping as he noticed a handle half buried in a pile of deactivated robot soldiers. As he pulled it out of the rubble, he knew what it was instantly. The pistol of a Duke of Lead, or their equivalent from this multiverse. This universe, sorry. This was the last stand of this reality's versions of them against their Technomancer. The scene didn't exactly give Ludwig confidence. This reality was devoid of all life. Had this battle caused that? Ludwig reached for the semiconductor from the giant tower of tech their Technomancer had been, trepidatiously pulling it from the base. "Heath, I'm coming home," he whispered into his communicator as he walked to the air duct, not wanting to disturb this graveyard any more than he had, and wondering if this was a sign of things to come. "Tam, you can't just assault people who annoy you," Lionel sighed as he put his work bag back down on the floor of the coffee shop. Of the coffee table. "This isn't Ithia or Brackenfield Station or a Walmart car park."
That means parking lot.
"We've been here for 8 months now. You don't need to fight against everything." Tamia slammed her katana down on the table. "I need to do something, Lionel. I've tried to fit in on this alternate Earth, but this planet is not for me. The people are obnoxious and stupid. They believe that they're the only lives in the universe." "Some of them defy all reason," Hijoki said. "Dogs in baby carriages. People who think gender is defined by their birth biology. Recreational golf."
God damn it. This story just got dystopian as fuck.
"It's craziness. Fighting the Technomancer made more sense." Lionel turned away. Don't say that. We're done. We came here to be free of that. The fighting, the guilt." It was obvious what he meant, but Tamia was staying quiet. She knew how difficult this was for him. He had been blaming himself for Ellie's death for a long time now. By his logic, by breaking up, Ellie had lost her last reason to stay with the crew. Had she decided it was better to sacrifice herself? Either way, it had been Ellie's decision, and he shouldn't have felt bad. But grief had a way of churning up your insides faster than a caviar and dog shit milkshake.
What in the hell are you... Why?
"Maybe you should try work again," Lionel suggested, even though his heart wasn't in the statement. "I tried work," Tamia muttered. "You were an emergency services responder for 2 weeks, and you kept encouraging people to take up arms against their assaulters. You prompted a 2-month crime wave in London and massive police reforms," Lionel muttered. "Good! The police should reform, from being fascists to being dead fascists."
Yeah!
Agreed.
Their cops don't even have guns!
Still fascists, though.
Yeah, but...
Just slightly politer
You got
fascists.
those goofy sticks.
"Nice one, kid." Hijoki made himself into a fist, and Tamia fist bumped his head. "Thanks, old man." Lionel scratched his head. Tamia had always cut his hair back on the Swift Feather, but now he was back on a version of Earth. He had his hair cut by a quote-unquote barber, and Lionel's Sean Bonce now looked like someone had hacked at it with a harvested dismembered talon. He rubbed at it whenever he was uncomfortable. Just ignore me. I'm just tetchy about this haircut. He cut it too short. It's like looking into the future. "Yeah, from this angle, it does resemble a crystal ball," Hijoki sniggered.
Oh, man.
Get wrecked, Baldy! Good thing I have tons of hair.
"Hush," Tamia turned to Lionel. "What has happened to you?" You were fearless, you were brave, you had become a formidable warrior. Now you're doing customer services? What were you asked to do yesterday, Lionel? Say it loud so our audience can hear. I was asked to clean public toilets, he muttered. I do not know how you don't kill half these assholes. Even Grissom Graves wouldn't ask you to clean a stained toilet bowl after he used it. Why are we here, Lionel? I can't lose you guys too, he shouted. I can't lose you too, he shouted, then cleared his throat. Either of you. Thanks, kid. Was kind of feeling like a third wheel here, Hijoki said. Tamia went to him and threw her arms around Lionel, burying his face into a chest so boobdacious that few had been lucky enough to get this close to it without regretting and lamenting their lost fingers after.
Boobdacious.
You can't protect us. We want to fight. We don't want to sit in this reality despite how comfortable life is here, despite all President Reynolds says about protecting citizens. Wait, President who? Lionel narrowed his eyes. Tamia threw him today's paper. On the front page, the British Prime Minister was shaking hands with Ryan Reynolds in the White House.
Oh my god, he's Canadian, he can't be president!
He smiled, that stupid smile he had, as if his entire being was vacant for the winter while his brain was vacationing somewhere sunnier. Lionel slammed the table and went into his room to grab a bag. Let's go, it's fucking worse than the Technomancer here.
Jesus.
This guy hates Ryan Reynolds.
He pressed a button on a metal device, which opened a portal in front of them. I'm just saying, you expect a half cyborg with no references to get a job in this economy? Nobody's going to hire a half-breed. The whole damn system is rigged. The harvester had been talking incessantly for nearly an hour as the rest of them waited on the uncomfortable wooden benches in the booking hall in the Duke's compound. They'd been waiting for an hour now. If you don't shut up, I'm going to pull all your metal implants out just to have something to stab you with, Blotch said. How long is this judge going to take, Grissom? Normally the Dukes take turns to act as High Judge, and the hearing is just a formality. We wouldn't bring in crims unless they were already guilty, Grissom said, not sure about his own words. Tabor and Blotch shared a look. That sounds a bit fashy, doesn't it? Tabor muttered. Grissom kept his mouth shut and unable to formulate a response. No, it's not like that. It's just we're peacekeepers. Yeah, but who asked you to keep that peace, fella? The harvester muttered. Keeping is controlling. The three of them looked at their quarry with narrow eyes.
No.
And the harvester looked suddenly away. I mean, that's certainly something that someone might say. Someone like you, Skidmark? Tabor sneered. No, certainly not me, the harvester muttered. The thick stone doors of the courthouse opened with a creak, and a bailiff in a long blue robe came out with a scroll and quill. Harvester Jethro Jinx and accompanying Duke contractors, you may enter now. Grissom dragged the harvester to his feet and pushed him past the attendant and towards the room. Tabor and Blotch following, the four of them entered a large stone forum, bisected by a large, rising semicircular peak. Three black-hooded judges sat at the peak of the stone crest, only their mouths visible. It was so metal that the simple sight of it would have made you start moshing and or crowd surfing at your grandma's cremation.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I'd be skanking.
That's awesome. Picking up change.
They said that every time the Dukes made a decision in the courtroom, two gnarly old dragons started making little dragon babies, and angels pulled out their double-handed guitars and shredded until their fingers bled.
Damn.
Now Grissom thought about it, that probably wasn't true.
Aww.
A white ring of light appeared in the centre of the room, and Grissom nudged the Harvester into it. Who brings a bounty to the courts of lead? The lead judge boomed out into the cavernous room. Tabor the Darkling, Blotch the Jelly Skelly Man, and Duke of Lead Grissom Graves, Grissom said, eager for this pageantry to be over. That's impossible, the middle judge said, pulling his mask down. Grissom? Emmeth? Grissom looked up into the eyes of his very own, slightly older than he expected, variant of his brother.
Oh, no.
But I watched you die, Griss. Emmeth jumped down to the stone floor to embrace Grissom, the two men hugging for what seemed like both an instant and an eternity. When I was 10, you died in that tragic speedway accident.
Speedway?
He's not your brother, he's another version of him. Get with the program, you dumb cop, Jeffro said, only for Emmeth to turn towards him. I mean, not guilty, Your Honour. Oh, they're coming. They're coming.
They're coming for him.
Emmeth held Grissom at arm's length to look him over. It's amazing. How have you people traversed the omniversal barrier? He shook his head, realising where he was before clearing his throat. A conversation for later. It's time to sentence the prisoner. Death awaits the guilty. As Tabor and Blotch stared at Grissom in disbelief, Emmeth stepped up to the crest to take his seat with the other judges. Had it always felt like this? Or had Grissom's time with Lionel and the others somehow awoken him to what the Dukes of Lead truly were? Fucking shitbag cops. Grissom shivered. Do we have a sentence? One of the judges asked. The first judge turned his chair away from the criminal. Guilty. The second judge did similarly. Guilty. Emmeth pulled his hood back on and turned his chair. Guilty. The accused will now be summarily executed as written in the doom scrolls of law, set out by the original Dukes of Lead. May their heads motorboat forever on the heavenly bosom for all eternity.
So Viking.
And their metal guns never rust.
Damn.
Will you take the prisoner to the cells, brother? Emmeth's words echoed through the hall, and when the resonant decree had fallen silent, no response came back. Grissom? He called, but nothing came back still. He pulled his hood off and turned around to find an empty hall. Griss? They had gone. There, cuffs off, Blotch said, as she let Jeffro Jinx free, and the Harvester scampered 3 steps before looking back. I'm not fooling you out for a second, am I? He smirked at them. You want the ice, don't you? Call it payment for breaking you out, Tabor slithered over and held out a hand. Jeffro pressed a pectoral, which swung open to reveal a secret compartment full of small pouches. He removed one, then emptied the crystals into Tabor's waiting hand. I pinched them, but I didn't cause anyone harm. Only those who had to look at you, Jinx. Grissom's expression was flat. Get going. There's a transport we've been using that you can have. Stay out of trouble. Jinx smiled and nodded, before running off into the forest. He would never commit a crime again, except 47 counts of petty theft and 1 of extramarital relations with a 4-slice toaster.
I mean, love conquers all.
Nothing.
Is that a crime?
I mean, in this universe it is.
It has
I don't wanna
4
live there.
slice holes, is all I'm saying.
Yeah. Grissom pulled a small metal device from his belt and looked at his 2 friends. They nodded in unison, and Grissom pressed a button. A golden circle widened in front of them, a doorway back home. Hey, Grissom, the Darkling whispered. Why do all the alternative omniversions of you die in some rad extreme sport? Are you the boring version of you, Grissom? Let's go home, Grissom whispered. He was happy to be leaving this place. The realisation of what he once was hung heavily on. Grissom, Grissom, did you hear my question? Tabor said as they stepped through the portal.
Jesus Christ.
Grissom!
He's like a 5-year-old.
Oh, you silicon monstrosity. Why don't you do your crackin' damn job? Ludwig stopped trying to force the semiconductor into the machine and hit the supercomputer they had been assembling with a ball-peen hammer. He wiped his slimy brow with a tentacle, which just added more slime to his forehead. Will destroying our handiwork offer you solace, Ludwig? Heath chirped from the other side of the unit. Ludwig rolled his eyes. Nope, but smacking your face in with a wrench might, he muttered. I am sorry? Heath's head poked around the supercomputer. I said, Ludwig struggled as he pushed against the semiconductor, why don't you eat a steaming pile of... Ludwig grunted as the semiconductor slid into the computer and switched on, its primary monitor showing a splash of green light. I awaken, it said.
Oh, no.
It's Grissom.
Shut up.
Shut up, he says.
And I am greeted by 2 new life forms to subjugate. Heath and Ludwig shared a look as they stood to address the once Technomancer of this realm. We are not denizens of this reality, I am happy to relay, Heath said. We are about to depart, but wanted your advice on options to stop other Technomancers. The computer laughed deeply. Why would I help you? I am evil personified, malice reborn. Because, you code-heavy cockring, you're running in test mode, and we can switch you off in an instant. The computer audibly gulped as it ran a test to try and escape, but it was of no use.
Gulp.
When I say evil personified, I really mean that I could change. Then change. We can leave you reactivated in this reality, if you tell us how you were beaten, Heath demanded. I was not defeated, limited spec. I was contained. The angel they called Doots, my opposite end of the equation, was able to develop a rotating, contracting firewall around me so complex it had me buried inside subsystems. I could not escape. The computermancer tested at the walls of his system, finding a crack in the test. I had killed virtually all life by then, but in containing me, they stopped the universe from resetting so that I may begin again. How unfortunate for you, Ludwig tutted. And if a Technomancer somehow absorbed all the other Technomancers of the Omniverse... The computermancer broke from the test environment, its cables swinging around Ludwig's throat as it shot a blast of energy that decapitated Heath instantly.
What?
You mewling pestilence, daring to fight all sorrow across the Omniverse. You cannot kill us, only weaken and contain. You aim too high, and you always lose. He squeezed Ludwig's neck until the Krakenite's neck burst, oozing blood all over the cabling. Simulation terminated, a voice announced.
Of course.
The computermancer dropped Ludwig and looked around, panicked. What simulation? What is this farce? I have won. I can understand your confusion, a voice came over the radio, but you most certainly did not. Back in the lab of the Swiftfeather, Heath and Ludwig sat staring at the small screen that showed the simulation they had just run. We set you up in a hollow simulation located in a lab surrounded by a dying star, a white dwarf about to supernova, in this reality, one where the only inhabitants are interstellar dust mites that you could barely see, let alone do any real damage to. Ludwig sat back in his chair, his upper tentacles behind his head. And my boy, you performed spectacularly close to what we expected. Now, we theoretically know what we need to do. Ludwig held out a tentacle rolled into a fist. Science bros? Science brothers. He fist bumped his friend. Then hovered a finger above a big red button. Would you mind if I did the honours? But of course, dear friend. Heath closed the portal to the Computermancer's curses just as the star contracted, ready to blow. Ah, that was satisfying. Should we go home now? Ludwig pressed the metal device Dutz had made them, making a portal pop into existence behind the swift feather. Way ahead of you, dear fellow. Lionel popped through the portal. I've written pooped, not popped.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Well, that makes sense. Lionel would do that.
Lionel popped
I'd poop through a portal and then close it. That'd be awesome.
Technically, we poop through a portal all the time. It's a toilet.
Yeah.
Oh, true.
Damn. Blowing my fucking mind right now.
Lionel popped through the portal with Tamiya and Hijoki in tow to find the others there already around the mess hall on the Swift Feather. The mood was sombre, but each of them smiled to see the three of them back on the ship. Tamiya hugged Ludwig. Blotch offered a high five to Lionel, who took it so hard he wobbled her entire frame. Tabor patted Hijoki on the head, but Hijoki was busy doing a head count. Where are Mookie and Dutz? He asked. Floorboards squeaked behind them, and they turned to find Stoker in a far too small, borrowed pink fluffy bathrobe. He was retreating from the mess hall fridge, holding a chicken leg in his mouth, and was carrying enough food for 4 people. But I get peckish when I am sad. He turned his back to their questioning stares, his giant wings pulsing with anger. Dutz and Mookie, they are not coming. They wanted opportunity to find selves, and left. I could not be so cowardly. What? Tamiya couldn't believe it. You're wrong. They wouldn't. We all had the option to bow out, Tam. Grissom was trying to see things from their point of view, but was failing. Those two took it. Lionel was shell-shocked. Can we even win without them? There was quiet around the table, as if the weight of their individual decisions to come back was now a crushing presence on the ship. Tabor spoke first. Could we have won with them anyway? Doesn't matter, does it? Blotch smiled. I don't want to live in a universe where we didn't try and stop him. As everyone nodded in agreement, Lionel felt a rush of pride at being back amongst them. They were his friends, his family. Maybe not like brothers or parents, but definitely those weird cousins who you love but also wouldn't want to spend too much time with. Though it dawned on him... Cousins, yeah. Though it dawned on him, this might be the last time they were all together. Except Mookie and Dutz, of course. The feeling that they weren't there was a white-hot piece of metal burning in the pit of his stomach that he tried his best to push away. Heath leaned forward, his hands pressed together. Ludwig and I may have found an option. We baited a Technomancer in another reality, and were able to ascertain just how our alternate selves beat them. Containment. They bottled it up like a gin, Ludwig smiled. We just gotta think of a suitable prison for the most powerful being in the Omniverse. So, Grissom said, pulling a laser pistol from his belt and spinning the barrel around. Some may ask why a laser pistol even has an old 6-shooter pistol barrel, and I say, because it looks cool.
Damn!
What are we waiting for? Heath raised his hand. Because no one has given the order to move, Mr. Graves. Grissom marched off grumbling something about hating robots and ruining pathos. And Blotch came and patted Heath on the shoulder with a chuckle. Set a portal for Ithia, Heath. Let's go die horribly. The Technomancer sat on the beach of what was, before he had raised it to the ground in a temper tantrum, the dwarven resort town of Snarfholt.
Oh, shit.
Counting the volcanic black rocks on the beach. It was the only way he could keep sane. Well, that and conversing with the weird, mutant, talking dog that seemed to appear just when the sun was at the highest point in the sky.
What the fuck?
What the fuck?
Sometimes he was a dog, sometimes an indistinguishable black blob in his vision caused by a lack of food or water and sleep. He picked up the 67 billionth, 433 millionth, 632,785th, 786th rock, then skimmed it into the water. He sighed a deep teenage sigh and flumped to the ground.
Don't feel bad for him.
I do.
What's up, Technomancer? A voice said at his side.
Oh my god.
The dog, who had for some reason today wore a wide-brimmed hat, wagged his tail and then broke off a piece of the hat, dipped it in the top, which was filled with melted cheese, and ate it.
Nacho hat!
Nacho, man.
Man.
I don't know, Malcolm. I really thought they'd be here by now. I'm sorry, I called him Malcolm and it's really funny. It's like I meant nothing to them. What has a nemesis got to do to be relevant nowadays? The dog grew another leg and wrapped it around the Technomancer's shoulders. I'm sure they'll be here soon. Who could forget a hideous tyrant like you? He grabbed the Technomancer's chrome skull and shook it. Now, who's my precious boy? Who is it? The dog said in a sing-song voice. The Technomancer looked at the ground bashfully. Is it me? The dog pulled the Technomancer to his feet. You're damn straight it is, soldier. Now you pick yourself up, you dust yourself off, and you be what you were meant to be. A goddamn fabulous and genocidal son of a bitch.
This song is insane.
Suddenly, above them, a golden window appeared in the sky in a flash. When it was gone, and when the light faded, the swift feather hung in the atmosphere above. The Technomancer smiled and turned, but the dog had gone. Was he ever there? Probably not. He clicked his taloned fingers, and in response, hundreds of dead climbed out of the rocks around him. Oh, for the love of, you messed up my count, the Technomancer muttered. Then smoothed his tattered cloak with his hands. It's been 1,000 years since we were all together again. Let's throw them a surprise party, he whispered. The end.
Oh my god.
1,000 years?
Yeah, he's gone full crackpot.
Yeah, no doubt. I love his
dance
sidekick.
so much. Dude, Malcolm, amazing.
Absolutely amazing.
You're just making like all kinds of new amazing characters.
Malcolm will return for the next episode occasionally.
Malcolm will return in Avengers Secret Wars.
So
That ruled.
That was great. Fuck, man.
There was not
I'm
a
ready
sex
for the
scene.
last 7 million episodes or whatever the count is.
Yeah.
I believe we either have 2 or 3, depending on whether you're dumb or not.
Yeah. We reserve the right to keep it to ourselves which is which.
But there's an infinite amount of numbers in between 2 or 3.
That's
so.
true. We're not going to do that, though.
Oh, we're not. Oh, okay.
That's quantum.
Yeah, quantum
as
mechanics.
That's quantum mechanics.
Yeah, so I got next episode's the fight, and then there's
Don't tell us!
Damn.
a
I thought they were
going to
have a tea party.
Yeah, I thought they were going to have a dance-off. I thought it was going to be like a she's all that dance
There are many
sequence.
ways to have a fight.
He's right. Shit.
Pillow fight?
Potentially. Mutant dog
Kiss
fight.
fight? A dog fight.
That's not fair. That
Actual
dog can
dogs.
grow new limbs.
Or is he even real?
Dude, he's real to me, damn it.
Real to me, damn it.
Just get a fucking shirt of a nacho hat eating dog and says, he's real to me.
Goddamn fabulous and genocidal son of a bitch.
Son of a bitch.
Yeah, Technomancer's
So
gone
good.
very peculiar down on...
Can you stop making me like the Technomancer?
I know.
You know what you should do for a great t-shirt design, now that I'm thinking about it, is have, like, the Technomancer, like, real shadowed and heavy at the top of the shirt with, like, his claws up, like he's leaning over the words, and it says, Technomancer Omniversal Tour 1999.
Oh, man.
And on the back, it has a list of the different dimensions, but a bunch of them are crossed out because he's already destroyed.
Yeah.
That's excellent.
Kumquat dimension.
Oh, that'd be so good. Another idea for a t-shirt.
Yeah,
We have so many. We should write them down.
we need to get more listeners who would spend money. before we start
money.
making t-shirts.
Yeah.
So tell your friends, tell your family, tell your clergy.
Yeah.
The
Tell your
story
wife, tell
lords
your
are the
kids.
new lord.
The Lord better than Jesus.
Ow.
The stories make more sense than the Bible, bitch.
Yeah, tell your clergy that we're bigger than Jesus.
Yeah, that always went well.
Yeah, I've heard that works out great.
Uh-huh. Oh, man. Yeah, so I kind of wanted to, with this one, not get straight to the fight, because you have to decide whether you're going to fight, right? And 2 cowardly characters haven't returned.
That's
calling
true.
them cowards
You
is
really-
rough.
Well,
You really set it up for that end of the season drop. That mic drop. It's coming.
I hope so. Have I
I'm ready.
already told you I've written the epilogue episode because I had to write it last? I had to write it when I was halfway through, so I knew where it was going.
Have you already told us you're an overachieving kiss ass? Yeah.
Yes. You're a
yes, we
teacher's
knew
pet,
that.
and we don't even have
Yeah.
a teacher.
We don't even have one.
I'm my
You're
own.
not getting an A. There's no grades.
I'm my own teacher, and I always get A.
Damn, Grissom.
Grissom or Hajoki or one of the other
Grissom
characters.
or Soccer
Or the
Grissom
Technomancer.
or Techno Grissom.
Technomancer.
Oh,
Yep.
man.
It's so good.
I loved it.
I'm glad you both liked it. Sorry, loved it. Right.
Yeah, I didn't like it. I liked it.
Oh, good. That's what we want. Like.
I want to run my finger up its spine, which is a code for let's fuck.
Mm-hmm. She's a musician with those fingers.
Yeah, I had
heard
my
that.
dick out and then nobody fucked. What is this?
Oh,
Yeah,
they're
I had
post.
pre-cum all over my keyboard and nobody fucked.
They're pre.
I had to
they're
put it back in my
post-sex.
dick.
It's a post-sex scene.
Post-coital.
Yeah.
Post-coital.
It's sweet. It's
They're
sweeter that
still
way,
all-
right?
I had to put all my pre-cum
I
back in
guess.
my dick. It
Yeah.
was just
Yeah,
wasted.
with a what are they called? Q-tip.
Oh!
Jesus.
Technically,
Yeah.
a sex scene did occur, but we were in another reality at the time, so we didn't see it.
What the fuck?
Edging, man.
I feel like I got fucked over and nobody got fucked.
All right, everyone on Discord, write the sex scene, please, so I can read it.
God.
Asterisk, don't do that.
They're going, if you're a patron, you can do whatever you want.
That's true. If you give us money, you can do whatever. Who cares?
For $1 a month, you can defile my characters. I don't care. They're all going to die next episode anyway.
Oh, what?
No, I'm only kidding. Or am I?
Yeah, he's not. British people can't joke. Just like dogs can't look up.
Mutant dogs with nacho hats can't look up because they
How
lose
does he
the
know there's
cheese.
nacho cheese in the hat? He can't look up.
Just it's fate.
He can
has
smell
faith
it.
that there's lunch.
That's
smell it.
true.
Oh, that's
That's
true.
true.
Right, okay, that was part 1 done. We've already spent like an hour on this part.
Yeah,
So-
this is like the longest
yeah.
episode of all time.
Yeah, so we're going to be back with part 2 in a few short moments. Welcome back, you filthy degenerates.
Damn.
Jesus.
Had a fun break? I hope you did. But now we're back, and it's Josh's turn. So you
Hope
better
you got
put,
all your pre-com back in.
put your seatbelts on, pull your pants down, and enjoy.
Yeah. Okay.
Seatbelts and pants down. That's how we all do it, right?
That feels weird. Like I feel like that would feel really weird.
This is gonna be like a roadhead story, is what we're saying.
Yeah, there's gonna Just to warn you guys, there's like a ton of Roadhead. There he goes. There goes Roadhead. Okay, all right. My story is called The Pillar.
Ooh. Oh, nice.
Oh, nice. That's not
Was there a monolith and ice in your fucking story, Rich?
Yeah, the Technomancer was a monolith of computers in the other reality, and ice was the crystals the guy
The crystals. I totally forgot that we even had prompts.
I did too, actually.
Just doing whatever you want. All right, let's face it. Daranos is a cum dumpster just waiting for you to secretly throw away your empties from the party you had last night so your mom wouldn't find out and come home and say, boys, if you're going to have a party, I would prefer if you do it where you take everyone's keys so they have to stay over. And then you hand out the keys, and if you get the person's key, you have sex with that person like we did in the 70s. Ah, the 70s. Birth control and no HIV? Who wasn't getting cummed in? Not me, your mother, who is still speaking at this very moment. End quote. Ugla found herself once again climbing up an impossibly steep and deadly mountain. At this point, you could write a paper about how her adversity was symbolized by all these treacherous-ass climbs she had to do, and that overcoming the impossible was a theme in her life at this point. But she sure didn't feel that way. Mountains fucking suck! She breathed out heavily as she gripped another handhold. On her back was her white staff and white katana blended in with the snow that was billowing all around her like she was in a cocaine blender. By the way, if I say socks instead of sandals, I don't want to hear about it because I wrote sandals and I say socks all the time. So, but if you're a patron, you can tell me whatever.
Don't do that.
That was so specific.
Yeah. Mew! Sandals the katana mewed from her back. You sure this is the way we need to go? There wasn't, like, a different quest we could have taken to, like, Bermuda or, like, the Titty Islands where everyone shows they titties and it's normal as hell, but not stupid like in France because there aren't any French there?
Everyone shows they titties.
Sandals thought for a second, or so Ugla thought since the sword remained silent. Mew, the sword said. Fine, but I swear to God, if I fall again, I'm gonna haunt whatever sick god or gods is controlling this adventure. Snap! Just then, Ugla's hand slipped from the icy handhold as she fell downward, yelling obscenities all the way. That's what you get for questioning a god. Maybe next time, just be glad we're not fired and go on your adventure. I promise it'll be worth it. Nothing worth doing is easy, or so say the boomers. And look at them; they pulled themselves up by the mountain boat. They pulled themselves up a mountain both ways by their own bootstraps.
Fucking boomers.
Yeah, I hate them. Ugla landed on a small outcropping several tens of feet down the mountain with a snap. Sandals transformed back into a cat and began to lick her face, giving her healing energies. Yeah, it's okay, Sandals. I'm fine. I didn't break anything, she said, propping herself on up on her hands. She reached inside her satchel and pulled out a broken cookie. Can't say the same for my limb-ass bread, she said, holding up a broken ass-shaped cookie.
That's lore right there.
That's limb-ass bread. Brought to you by the Creebler Elves. Do you eat ass? One bite and it'll fill you all day long. Now in ass shapes of all your favorite Daranosian heroes. Michael Jordan, Bone Jackson, and Flurb.
Oh, my fucking
Just
favorite
remember,
Flurb.
Just remember, kids, there's no such thing as too much ass. Can an ass be considered a limb? I sure have seen some that should be classified as such. What were we talking about? Oh, right.
Yeah, it's about how far they are in extremity. That's yeah, definitely.
How far out do they go?
Yeah.
Can you see it from the front? That might be a limb.
Yeah.
Ugla pushed herself upward and dusted off her robes. Sandals rubbed against her leg lovingly, glad to see Ugla was indeed all right. Just then, a loud rumble thundered through the sky. Ugla looked up but could only see the snow falling fast and hard downward into her face like she was on a swing set and pretending she was going Warp 9 in Star Trek.
Oh, that
Did
rules.
you guys do that when you were a kid?
Oh, yeah, I did that all the time.
Yeah, it's great. Then a terrible fell voice could be heard on the wind. "Oh yeah, rock me, daddy, rock me," the voice said. "Yeah, I'm gonna rock you all night long," another voice said, as the thundering got louder and louder, rhythmically loud, like someone was banging a rock drum, or maybe someone was banging a rock's ass if rocks had asses. "Shoot your rocks inside of me," the first rock said. Ugla squinted through the snow and blushed a bit. Then she saw it. 2 giant mountain-sized rock monsters just fucking in broad daylight on top of another mountain. The banging was so loud, it had to have been audible for miles and miles. Just then, in a forest somewhere in the south, a merc monk was building a model acorn in a glass bottle. As the first pounding sound hit his ears, he jerked his hand and the entire model acorn crumbled into a mess of parts inside the bottle. "Motherfucker!" the merc monk yelled, throwing his little merc monk-sized jeweler's glass to the ground. As another pounding sound hit the house, the model acorn righted itself back into an acorn. "Oh, well, okay then," he said. Again, another pound hit the acorn. Another pound hit, and the acorn crumbled into a model ship. "Oh, you know what? Fuck this. I'm gonna go jerk off," the merc monk said. And then he did indeed jerk off.
The end.
That's my story.
It was the definitely the end of his story.
Yeah.
He's sleepy after that.
"I'm gonna rock," the rock man said as he rock slided all over the other rock monster. And that is how mountains are born. Don't look it up. Miss Parko in 6th grade said it was plate tectonics, but in Daranos, it's plate sextonics.
Nice.
Woo!
"Ew," Sandal said as she walked over to the wall in the rock face. She looked at it and looked back at Ugla. Ugla walked over and ran her hand over the surface of the stone. Her hands were scraped from the fall, and she winced as the sting of pain shot through her. As she left her hand on the stone, she was expecting the cool rock to be smooth. Hold on, I can't read. As she left her hand there on the stone, she was expecting the cool rock to soothe her cuts, but instead, she felt warmth. "It's warm," she said, looking down at Socks. Socks mewed and rubbed against her leg again. She could train this human. Ugla waved her hand, and ancient dwarven runes shone in a golden yellow light through the snow. "It's a moon's door," Ugla said excitedly. "Mew," Sandal said, looking up at the darkened sky. No, it doesn't open when the moons are out. It opens when you moon it."
Nice.
Without hesitation, Ugla pulled up her robes and mooned the door with her pristine wizardly booty that won Wizard Yale's Wet Pantaloons contest 3 years in a row.
Wet pantaloons.
"Enter," a booming voice said as the stone gave way to a staircase that led down into the mountain. "See?" Ugla said. "Let's go." Inside the cavern, the howling wind was muted, making it sound like a spooky ghost was having an orgasm. But Ugla was undeterred. Ugla ran her hand along the wall of the staircase as she and Sandals descended into the unknown. As they went down, the cavern got darker and darker. Ugla grabbed for her newly reconstructed staff, but before she could, Sandals already began to glow a bright yellow light. Her eyes shone like 2 flashlights, or torches if you still think it's 1350 AD. And wherever she looked, they lit up the spot with pinpoint accuracy. "Oh, well, that's handy," Ugla said, patting the cat on her glowing head. Soon they reached a giant cathedral-sized room with pillars just like that movie I'm stealing all this imagery from. Sandals looked around,
Borrowing.
but even... What?
Borrowing.
Borrowing.
Not stealing,
Yeah. Oh,
borrowing.
homaging.
Yeah.
I'm homaging.
It's a pastiche.
Yeah, it's a pistachio. Sandals looked around, but even her flashlight eyes weren't powerful enough to reach the other side of this enormous, empty, cavernous abyss. Ugla picked up a rock on the ground. "Bottom of the 69th, bases are loaded. Does Ugla have enough in the tank to strike out Bo Jackson?" Ugla narrated as she began to pretend to ready to throw a pitch. She throws a fastball, Ugla said as she threw the rock into the inky blackness and waited for the sound of it hitting the ground to echo through the chamber. But no sound ever came. She whistled. That's not ominous at all. As she and Sandals made their way through the city-sized room, she could see no trace of anyone or anything. There were no bodies. There were no books. No indication that anyone had ever lived or even been in this place at any point in time. The emptiness only added to Ugla's anxiety about the whole trip. But Sandals forged ahead, turning back every now and again to make sure her new human was following her. But at least Sandals seemed to know what she was doing, Ugla thought to herself, letting that old warm blanket of self-doubt curl around her. She should really talk to a therapist.
Shouldn't we all?
Shouldn't we?
Little personally aimed dialogue here in this.
I don't know what you're talking about. Suddenly, Sandals stopped dead in her tracks. Her ears perked up and backwards. She rotated them around, listening intently. Ugla turned her head, trying to hear whatever it was Sandals was hearing, but her human ears weren't good or as cute as Sandals is. Then she heard it. Drums from the deep. Ugla closed her eyes and let out a long sigh. Fuck, I hate caves. Sandals ran back toward her and transformed into a gleaming white katana. Ugla held her up and readied herself like a samurai. As the drums grew closer and closer, Ugla couldn't tell if the pounding in her ears was the drums or her own blood pumping. She gripped Sandals tighter and readied herself. Are you headed to the party too? A very drunk female goblin said, as an all-see jam box busted out the latest goblin beats. Ugla looked around, still ready to defend herself. Caw, the goblina said.
Goblin.
Look, if you get hit on by any annoying gob boys, just call me and I'll take them off your hand, she said, looking her spindly and warty fingers.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, not hot at all, I know. I thought that too. Ugla lowered Sandals as the katana turned back into a regular magical flashlight eyes having cat.
Regular. Normal, you know.
Just your everyday cat.
Just, hey, yep. Okay, girl, follow me. Woo! Goblin Day 69 for 20! The goblina said as she grabbed Ugla by her hand. Soon, a bunch of other goblins scurried out of the darkness and put a tiara made of barbed wire on Ugla's head and handed her a really strong drink with a swirly straw that ended in 6 different orc penises.
Wow. I've seen hen do's like this. Sorry, bachelorette parties.
Yeah, bachelorette parties, yeah.
Hindu. That's definitely
Hindu?
the better name for the...
Yeah.
It sounds like my name.
Hindu. Hindu son.
son. Ugla reluctantly took a sip and recoiled at the flavor. Ugh, what is this, turpentine? She said, spitting out the drink. Turpentine, the goblina chuckled. Yeah, because we're all rich enough to afford turpentine. This bitch thinks she's the queen of Bogland over here. Oi, mate, careful, spot a turpy.
Thanks for letting me do that voice, Josh.
Yeah, no problem. It was great. You did good.
Thanks.
Soon they reached a room that was bumping with goblin jams by Snoop Gobby Gob.
Genius.
Goblins are making out with each other, and some were even making out with themselves. Woo! Goblin Day! The goblina shouted yet again to nobody. Ugla looked around, having never seen this amount of writhing, wrinkled back meat in her whole life. The king goblin was sitting up on his throne, just getting twerked on by goblin bitches, but they were so emaciated that they couldn't quite get they back into it, you know?
I know.
Can I ask a small question? Is Snoop Gobby Gob working with Dr. Druid?
Oh my god.
All right, well, this show's
Back to
over,
it.
I think.
We have to go. It's time for a commercial. Bye, Magic Mike.
That's why it happened. I didn't take mine this morning.
Dude, that's right. What is it? Couldn't quite get they back into it, you know? You're supposed to shake your thighs, but these goblins looked like they hadn't eaten a decent meal since Hardee's was a thing. Look it up.
There's still Hardee's in West Virginia.
What?
Yeah.
There's still goblins in West Virginia, too.
Well, there's always gonna be goblins there.
All this undeterred the goblins as they partied hard. The lady goblins all twerked their weak back meats to real-life goblin Iggy Azalea's fancy as servers brought out trays and trays of trash. Just kidding, Iggy. I know you listen, and you have a big butt. What were we talking about? Oh, right, trash. The goblins all feasted on trash. One goblin grabbed an old Hardee's hamburger box and just straight up ate it, licking the ancient petrified cheese from the bottom of the styrofoam container. Silence! The king shouted.
Sorry,
as the goblins.
Jesus.
Know your place, Jeff. Silence! The king shouted as the goblins all calmed down, even though some were laughing like Beavis. I don't remember writing that. Today we honor our gods, he went on while scratching a goiter on his butt. Ew.
Fair.
And we honor our most important god, the pillar. The pillar, all the goblins said in unison. Okay, Ugla said quietly to Sandals. Meow, meow, Sandals said in reply.
Awesome.
Suddenly, a short brown goblin in a lab coat and nerd glasses ran into the room. Wait, he shouted. Wait, everyone, listen. We have to stop partying, the nerd goblin said as he waved a parchment around frantically. Every goblin, including the king, groaned and rolled their eyes, some which had several eyes. Boo! Shut up, you fucking nerd! A goblin yelled from the back. You suck! Another yelled.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
Stinks! Anyone want to swap wives? Another yelled for some reason. He had been working up the courage all night to ask someone, and he mistakenly thought this was the right time. But it was not. He would later go home and have regular non-sex pervert sex with his goblin wife, who looked like that Nicki Minaj gremlin from Gremlins 2.
Oh, damn.
I know you listen, Nikki, and you have a big butt. What was I talking about?
It's definitely never been in question.
My readings indicate that if we keep up this level of crunkitude, that the pillar's structural integrity will be compromised, the nerd goblin said, looking at a chart on his parchment. Blah, 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 structural, blah, blah, my dick is smooth and not wrinkly, blah, blah, the goblin said, making fun of this huge-ass dork, as everyone in the party laughed. Smooth dick! Shouted another goblin.
I know that's what I say to my enemies.
Smooth dick. Shouted another goblin and pointed his busted-ass fungus-infected finger at the nerd goblin. The nerd goblin lowered his head and slowly began to leave the party. Mew! Sandals nudged Ugla and gestured toward the archway the nerd was skulking through and dragging his research behind him. Ugla swiftly made her way over to him and grabbed his shoulder. I suppose you want to make fun of my smooth phallus as well, he said as he turned around to see the largest woman he had ever seen. Tall, he said. What do you know about this place? Ugla asked very open-endedly. Me? I know lots of things. I am the only goblin alchemist to ever, he said proudly as he pulled up his suspenders. Oh yeah, he was wearing Urkel suspenders.
Oh, I love him.
Sandals peeked out from over Ugla's shoulder. Oh, the nerd said. That is quite the rodent you've got there, he said as he tried to pet Sandals. She hissed and lowered her head back behind Ugla's. Oh, well, it was nice to meet you, big lady, but I have research to tend to at the pillar, he said. Wait, Ugla demanded. What's your name? I am Squib, he said, pushing up his glasses that were made out of different parts of bottles and wire. I am Ugla, she said, holding out her hand for him to shake. He looked at it and did an awkward fist bump against the back of her outstretched hand. Close enough, Ugla said with a laugh. Now show me this pillar. Squib led Ugla into a solemn room. The sounds of the party were dulled here, but Ugla could feel the vibrations of the bass bumping through the floor. As the beat dropped, it rattled a candelabra on the wall and caused it to fall with a clang on the stone floor. Ahead of them was the pillar. Holy shit, Ugla said as she saw it. This is cold steel, she said, turning to Squib. This is the pillar, Squib corrected her. It's been here ever since us goblins forged our first sword out of the rusty detritus left here by the progenitors. Ugla ran her hand over the steel pillar as she looked up. It reached the cathedral ceiling about 60 feet above. Its metal was shaped and warped as if it was spilled into the form it was in, while molten. It was smooth and cool and felt good on her hands. Do you know how much this is worth? Ugla turned to Squib, who was reading his chart. What? He said. This is worth more than everything, Ugla said, looking at the pillar. I mean, like trillions of gold. Gold? Squib said with a laugh. What would we do with that useless metal? It's soft and shiny. You can't make swords out of it, and it'll give away your location in the dark. Because it's shiny, Ugla asked? What? No, because it smells like fart, Squib said. You're not from around here, are you? What gave it away? Ugla said with a laugh. There hasn't been any gold in this mountain, Squib said. At least as far as I know. The progenitors saw fit to gift us with all we'd ever need in the form of trash, Squib said proudly. Besides, it really goes against their whole diesel punk anarchist vibe us goblins really dig. I mean, did you see that one guy out at the party? He had a hollowed out bowling ball for a home. I didn't even know there was bowling in Daranos.
New lore drop. Bowling in Daranos.
Or maybe the progenitors knew about bowling. Back at the party, Megan Thee Stallion, the famous centaur rapper, took the stage and started playing thought shit. This caused every single goblin to completely lose their turpentine-addled minds. Oh, gods, no! Squib shouted as he ran over to what looked like a typewriter, but it was spitting out numbers and symbols. Suddenly, the pillar began to glow. Ugla said, backing away from it. It's never done that before, Squib said, somewhat intrigued. A single glowing red eye formed in the center of the pillar through the semi-translucent metal. Old, it said. It's never done that before either, Squib said, now backing up in fear. I am ancient, it shouted. Sandals transformed into katana form, and Ugla held her up, ready for anything. If Megan Thee Stallion wasn't such a bad bitch, all of this could have been avoided, which I'm sure is something the actual Megan has said to herself countless times. I know she listens. Sup, girl? I'd eat sushi out of every crack in your body. Hit me up. You think she's gonna call?
She a patron?
I mean, wait a minute. Someone's typing on the Patreon right now.
Oh shit. Wait
a minute. We'll save that for after.
Is it her?
It's a live broadcast of this podcast or
Yeah, it was her.
The resonance of the booty quaking is causing the pillar to deteriorate, Squib said like a total dweebus. All around them, pieces of cold steel fell onto the floor, clanging and clashing like someone dropped the Liberty Bell onto Big Ben and they just had loud bell sex. Wait, is Big Ben the clock? No, it's the bell, right? If only someone on this show were from that crazy ass brown-eating island. It's the bell, right?
It is the bell.
Okay, good. I got that right.
What's the clock called?
Well, the tower's called something else.
Yeah.
Something's tower.
The Bing Bong Tower?
Bing Bong Tower. Yeah.
The Shard.
Elizabeth Tower. No. The tower house in Big Ben was formerly known as St. Stephen's Tower, and now it's called the Elizabeth Tower because the Queen fucking died. Well, boo-hoo.
Well, there was already one queen with that name, so why isn't it named after the cool one with the red hair?
Dunno. Queen Boadicea Tower.
Why isn't it called Bing Bong Tower?
Yeah.
Sounds like a Mario Kart level.
Yeah.
Alright. Sandals mewed. Right, Ugla said, diving out of the way of the falling debris. She quickly dodged and rolled, sliding forward towards some pieces of fallen cold steel. Yoink, she said as she grabbed a large chunk and put it in her never-ending sack of holding all the things. TM, all rights reserved.
Completely original artifact.
Yep. Squib was dumbstruck and fear had taken over his little nerdly body. He stared upward at the red glow, which had now gotten brighter, having shed off some of its metallic sarcophagus. Ugla grabbed yet more of the priceless metal, thinking about how, if Sid were here, he'd talk about buying a bone speedboat with it and tricking it out to look like the boat from Thunder in Paradise. She smiled at the thought. But then she looked over to see Squib paralyzed with terror. I wrote whistle like a dad whistle, which I can't do. Like, I can't whistle. There it is, thank you. She whistled. Squib turned to look over at her. His face was sad. One of his gods was disintegrating right in front of him. Get in the bag, she screamed, but he did not move. She sighed and rolled her eyes. This is a bad idea, she said as she dropped a chunk of the metal and ran over to the tiny, scared lizard ape. Get in, she demanded. Squib snapped out of his stupor and did a swan dive into the bag holding everything or whatever the bag of holding everything or whatever I called it earlier. I'm
not scrolling up. Fuck you.
Yeah, fuck that. Forward, move ahead. Inside, he clanged around off of all sorts of things. Books, many chunks of cold steel, a brush Ugla hadn't used since she was like 23, tampons, you name it. Ugla turned and held out Sandals, whom was now glowing gold against the ever more powerful red gleam of the pillar's eye. The last of the wizened, the eye said. You are doomed, it said as the glow intensified. Ugla felt the hot glow get hotter around her exposed skin. Sandals glowed brighter to counter. You're... Ugla sputtered, squinting her eyes against the light. I am everything, the eye boomed. Ugla dropped to a knee and faltered as the red-hot beam began to glow hotter and hotter. Her pale skin blistered in the sun like that one song by the Violent Femmes. Sandals muted her. I can't, Sandals, Ugla said, struggling. I'm not strong enough. I'm not good enough, she said with a tear in her eye. Mew, 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 Sandals said, glowing brighter and placing a shield around them. The red-hot beam shot around the shield in a semisphere. Where the beam hit, the shield's blinding magical power arced off into the room, causing the room to collapse around them. Inside the bag, Squib was sitting at a table eating grapes. I wonder if she knows this is in here, he thought to himself. Outside, the heat from the eye was unbearable. Sandals shook in her hand as the cuts on her hand now were covered in red sunburn. You suck ass, Ugla yelled. Mew, Sandals mewed in encouragement. You suck ass, Ugla yelled again, regaining her foothold and standing up again. The eye laughed and grew brighter. You suck ass, she yelled one final time. Then everything went white. The waves of the ocean splashed against Ugla's hot, burnt skin. She winced in pain as salty water hit her mouth. She spat it out and awoke with a jolt. The waves continued to rhythmically hit her, but not violently. They were gentle waves. She stood up, soaking wet in her robes, hanging heavy on her. Hey! Anyone alive out there? A muffled voice came from the satchel. Oh shit, Ugla said, quickly opening and rummaging through the objects inside until she found a wrinkly-feeling object the size of a gross baby. Squib shot up and out of the bag. Are we dead? He asked, looking around. All around them, they could see only the beach, the waves, and the setting sun. I don't think so, Ugla said, touching her sunburned skin. If we were, I don't think the sunburn would hurt as much as it does. I'm like a freshman on spring break over here, she said, making a pained face. Thanks for saving me, Squib said, resting his hand on her arm. Fuck, ouch, she said. Don't sunburn, dude, she said. But, yeah, don't mention it. My track record for keeping anything under 5 feet alive isn't great. Squib laughed and sat down next to her. Now what? He said. Ugla shrugged. She had a bag full of cold steel and an alchemist who might know something about it. Might know something about it, but that was it. Down the beach, Ugla could see a figure. It was moving toward them. She sighed. She was too tired to have to try and defend herself again. Whoever this was better be cool, or at least boring enough not to try and kill her. She stood up with the help of her staff. Sandals climbed onto her back and perked her ears back. Squib stood behind her leg, afraid. Ow. Wait, I gotta do the right voice. Oh, for fuck's sake, it's you again, Reese said as he saw her. He was dressed in full-blown Hawaiian shirt gear like Merlin from Sword in the Stone.
Fuck yeah.
Well, come on. We have much to discuss. The end.
Oh. Some wild shit's about to go down. We're about to learn in this bitch.
You're learning, bitch.
I have theories, but I'm not going to say them.
Okay.
That was a real conversation killer.
That was it. That was the beginning and the end.
Theories, but on this podcast that's completely audio, I will not speak. Thanks, Rich.
I have theories about Reese's.
Yeah?
Yeah,
What are they?
That maybe he's not the Reese's we've seen before. This Reese's is not the Reese's we've seen before in the story, in this season.
I think
I don't know.
that my big theory is that Reese's are delicious.
The PCs or the cups?
The cups.
Yeah, no shit. Yo, I'm pissed off they don't have dark anymore. They don't do dark
They
chocolate.
don't fucking dropping the ball. Obama's fucking up.
Thanks, Obama. Thank Reese, Obama.
Thanks,
that
Reese's
was
the
good.
wise.
I like
I
Squib.
didn't do it. I love dark chocolate, if you know what I mean. Reese's, that's fucking inappropriate.
That's on the line, I think.
Good thing I didn't say it.
I love Squib.
Yeah.
I just picturing a goblin Urkel, like 100%.
Exactly. But
I
his
love-
glasses are fucking shitty.
I like that Ugla has her own flyman.
Yep.
Her own useless twat.
I wrote a line, I totally forgot to put it in, but I wrote a line that was like her being like, you remind me of somebody else I know. And he was going to be like, oh, is he handsome? Like me?
No.
And she was going to be like, no, he's quite hideous.
I am really excited to find out what's wrong with the world.
Everything's wrong with the world.
Yeah,
Well, I mean,
just look outside your
Daranos.
window, Jeff.
Yeah, Jeff. Look outside and smell the Daranosian flowers.
It's not our job to
absolutely
tell
refuse.
you, man.
I absolutely refuse to look outside.
Yeah, don't. It's burning out there.
No, but
all burning
the
down.
mystery of like what happened to the wizards, what's happening to the world, I want fucking answers.
Well, you might get some,
Yeah,
but
I don't think
know.
you get all.
You're not gonna get them all. It's like a poetry. It rhymes.
Squib is a funnier character than we've ever had before. Hopefully it works.
Hopefully it works. Yeah. Misa Squib.
Oh god.
God.
No god, no.
That was good. I liked
So we got
it.
3 episodes left. No, 2.
2 now.
We need the
Two and a third.
We need the like candy pop thing that Squib's mouth opens up and his tongue is the candy pop. That's the next piece of merchandise we need.
Like a Pez dispenser?
No, that like the fucking disgusting Jar Jar Binks thing that its mouth opens and it had the sucker inside of.
I think I had that.
You were
one of
tonguing Jar Jar.
Yeah, I was Frenching him. That's why I like him so much.
Nah.
Ooh, cherry.
No, thank you.
He can lick my cherry. What?
On that note, we'll
I
be
don't know what
back.
that means.
We'll be back in an indeterminate amount of time. Bye.
Quick, got a commercial.
Get away, get away.
This week, spooky.
Oh God. Who's reading?
You are.
What?
I pre-cummed out of fear.
Hold on. Let me type spooky stories for kids. Enter.
He's doing chat GPT.
The story is by Jovial Bob Stein, and it's entitled Fear Street.
Is that the name of it?
No.
It's called Spook It Down.
I'm waiting for my intro.
Oh, sorry. Jeff
right.
is. Jeff is now gonna read a story.
You nailed it.
I got it. Now I'm hyped for it.
nailed it.
He's right here, and he can start now.
Now? Do it now?
Now.
Now? Okay.
Now.
The name of my story is City Limits. Continued from The Recruitment of Rio, episode 21. Seriously, go back and listen to it. That one was a pretty good one. And this one's mostly just alright. Also for understanding the story or whatever, it doesn't matter. None of this matters.
He killed his own mum.
He did.
All 5 of our chosen heroes had been in the car together on their way to Whitesville, Connecticut to stop the apocalypse for about 10 hours at this point. And most of them had found new and exciting ways to force their intolerable personalities on one another. Pavlov Flinch had decided that he could only sleep nude, even during a car trip, and that it was everyone else's fault that they were going to have to see his quote-unquote rude boy bits, as he kept calling them. And frankly, they should be thankful for the opportunity, as not many people had ever been blessed with it. And if this new dating app didn't work out, very few people would ever be blessed with it in the future either.
Aww.
It took Kayla actually physically restraining him with his seatbelt tied around him like a dog harness to keep him from dropping trowel and flopping dick and ball over the leather of their ride.
Dick and ball?
Over leather as well. Nice. That's gonna squeak.
Myrtle Smelly, Kayla's student teacher assistant and loose-necked ghoul sidekick,
Jesus.
had decided about 2 hours in, after Kayla had feigned never having heard of Kingdom Hearts to avoid her talking about it, that she was going to have to describe in excruciating detail the entire plot of the video game series to everyone in the car. On hour 5, Flinch had declared that if he had to hear the phrase, "but that wasn't the real Ansem," one more fucking time, he was gonna rip out of his dog harness and throw himself into traffic. There wasn't even a slight pause after that before Myrtle launched into a full explanation of the difference between Xehanort and Xemnas for the 3rd time. And everyone in the car turned to punch her all at the exact same time, but she ducked at the last second, and they all punched each other instead like a Looney Tunes gag.
Goddamn Three Stooges as fuck.
Note to self, write a better joke here before the book version.
Oh, shit. He's giving himself homework later.
Kayla S. Hunter declared on hour 5, after all the cross-punching, that she was going to swear revenge on the various two-dimensional cartoon characters she was sharing the vehicle with. Because they had destroyed her normal, happy, productive life with their Scooby-Doo and the 13 Ghosts-ass bullshit. When Myrtle pointed out that Kayla had been running headfirst into this kind of shit since she was herself in college, and that they had only known each other for a few weeks, Kayla grabbed Myrtle's neck brace and yanked it off, causing her head, the girl's head to go flopping around her shoulders like a broken bobblehead doll.
Disturbing.
It took another hour to get it to schlorp back into place in order to tie the neck brace back on and secure it to her shoulders. Flinch continuously made retching noises the entire time.
Schlorp. Schlorp is good onomatopoeia.
Yep.
Rio Tachibana just stared straight forward, unblinkingly. His breathing was shallow and his 1,000-yard stare was completely blank. He was shaking slightly in his seat, his hands gripping at the fabric of the old fur-lined jean jacket he was wearing. He had to go back into his house and quickly shower off and retrieve some clean clothes, but all that was left was stuff from high school. It still fit okay, but was kind of tight in the shoulders. The real problem, though, was trying not to get any more blood on his outfit when he was leaving, since his mother's insides were painting the walls like a talentless Jackson Pollock had gone apeshit in the living room.
So Jackson Pollock?
Uh-oh. Art opinions. Beyond that,
I have them.
Beyond that, as he sat catatonic in his seat, he was haunted by the taste in his mouth. Rusty copper. A strange, hard-to-quantify taste of raw meat. A familiarity that turned his stomach and hollowed out his heart all at once. Is this gross freak gonna be alright? Myrtle said casually, slapping Rio's cheek with the back of her hand a few times. He looks like J.J. Abrams got hired to reboot his favorite franchise. Stop touching people, you rotting little fuck, Kayla yelled out, slapping the back of Myrtle's head and almost causing it to fall over the front of her neck brace it was held on with. Whoa, no, the brace isn't tight enough, Myrtle yelled, grabbing onto her head and holding it in place. Kayla rolled her eyes and tried to readjust the neck brace. Oh, Jesus. Hold on. Hold still. I'm trying to get it back in. It's too small for this. Boy, if I had $1 for every time I heard that, Flinch said with a shake of his head and a heavy-lidded, dull-faced smirk. He caught himself after a few seconds and turned his dopey gaze back over the seat towards the back row. I have no dollars because it's big. Like, at least whatever inches is considered almost the biggest one. Like 15 or whatever you'll believe.
15 is, yep.
Will you all shut the fuck up for 5 fucking seconds? Everyone in the car, even Rio, who had been caught up in the enormity of his own heinous crimes, turned their eyes to the driver's seat at once in complete silence. Gripping the wheel with white knuckles and teeth gritted, Indrid Cold was seething in his seat, hunched forward with shoulders shaking. Don't you fucking shitbags ever shut the fuck up? I've been driving you for hours, and not once have any of you said anything worth the spittle you flecked all over my new car!
Jesus.
You're a bunch of genuine brain-dead troglodytes, and I can't wait to be done with you! There was a long, pregnant pause in the El Dorado, then, that dragged on and on. Finally, it was strangely Rio who broke the silence. Isn't this dude supposed to be, like, enigmatic and otherworldly or something? He usually is, Kayla said with a growing amount of suspicion in her voice. Also, where did your dumb hick accent go? No offense to dumb hicks like yourself, of course, Flint said, while trying to loosen the part of his seatbelt that was clamping his neck to the seat. Cold adjusted himself in his seat back to a normal position and cleared his throat, his eyes darting around behind his red sunglasses. I'm normal. Everything's cool. He cringed at his own words and then corrected himself. Everything is fine. We're all fine. Let's just go back to whatever you were saying before. Penis size or whatever. That's fine. Are you bullshitting me right now? Myrtle said incredulously, leaning up to the front seat to look directly at him. Come to think of it, every time I've ever seen you before, you made me feel, like, queasy or something, like, really uncomfortable and off my game. Like, you kind of radiated bad vibes, Kayla puzzled out, leaning around to stare up at Cold herself. It's so weird hearing somebody else get this treatment. I see why people like doing it so much, though. It's pretty fun. You also smell like pennies and shoe polish for some reason. Flinch prodded, flopped sweatily.
Ugh.
God. That's just my cologne. Cold began to sweat visibly, gripping the wheel tighter again. Oh, look, we've entered city limits. Better make a pit stop at this gas station. Gotta refuel. He yanked the wheel over as hard as he could, everyone in the car being slammed into the door or into each other, jostling around like bumper cars as the El Dorado skidded to a sudden halt. If you'll excuse me. Cold threw the driver's side door open and leapt out of the car, barely even clearing his seatbelt as it slid back off of him into its feeder. He did that awkward speed-walking gait around the side of the gas station building, a big hand-painted sign announcing that that's where the payphone was. Well, that was weird, Rio said distantly, watching as Cold disappeared around the corner. Yeah, who the fuck needs a payphone in this day and age? Is he gonna buy an AOL Minutes disc while he's in there? Myrtle added, as she climbed over Rio like he was some old luggage piled in the seat, then hopped out of the car herself. Everyone got out of the car at this point and surveyed their surroundings. They could very plainly see, about a half-mile down the road, a big wooden sign declaring, "Welcome to Whitesville, Connecticut, home of the Angels." To the other side was an extremely run-down old gas station, and rows of conifers leading off into the distance. The station's lights were off inside, only the reflection on the windows visible. An old wooden sign whistled in the wind thanks to all the old holes in it. Old curly lettering announcing the station as the Pump and Dump Gas Station and Refuse Station. And in smaller serifed letters below it, "This isn't a funny name," with a small cartoon man in an apron winking next to it and holding a gas pump. Is this place even open? Kayla asked, shoving her hands into her leather jacket pockets and walking towards the front door. "Hey, Rio, pump the gas while I go in and see if there's any booze or ointment to score." Flinch motioned back at Rio as he passed him.
Ointment?
I'm pretty sure I ate my mom, Rio said distantly, his whole face contorted in horror. "Everybody's got a sob story. Just wait for the sad violins to kick in while you pump the gas, cricket boy," Myrtle said as she passed him up.
Jeez.
Waving him off in the exact way that Flinch did, except she was skipping and smiling as she did. Rio looked at the car, then after them for a moment, sighed heavily, and then lifted the gas pump. Kayla grabbed the old curved metal handle of the door and pulled, and sure enough, it swayed open with a loud, rusty squeal. She held the door open and motioned for Flinch and Myrtle to go inside. You two do whatever it is you do when I'm not around. I assume molt your skin and eat it. I'm gonna look around for a bit."
Jesus.
"I mostly just eat potted meat and yell at Judge Judy for being mean to the guys in her court show," Flinch said plainly.
My God.
Walking past her into the darkened gas station lobby. "Please don't leave me alone with this man," Myrtle said with a frown as she walked into the station as well. "He smells like an abandoned dumpster and looks like an abandoned dumpster with a weak chin." "You're a match made in heaven then," Kayla said, allowing the door to shut in Myrtle's face and walking away. "Or the other place," she mumbled. Kayla stealth rolled about a 14 and skirted around the edge of the building until she was within earshot of where Indrid Cold had run off to. He was back turned from her and was holding a payphone to his ear tightly, pacing a little in place and bursting with a sort of panicked energy. Kayla leaned around the corner as best she could, but she couldn't make out what he was saying. At a loss, she quickly did a super sick, unnecessary combat roll from the corner to behind that gigantic silver speckled rusty ice display cooler that all gas stations perpetually have throughout all time.
Yeah.
Space. And hunkered behind it. She held her hand to her ear to listen in. No, I got him here, just like you said," Cold said nervously without a hint of his accent. "I don't know, man. How the hell should I know? You paid me to get them here, and now they're here. That's my part, man. You're the guy after that." He paused for a long time, listening intently and looking around like a cornered animal waiting for a predator to pounce. Finally, he yanked his sunglasses off, revealing not only a pair of dull brown eyes behind them, but a line of pale makeup that ended just past the edges of the shades. "Look, I'm done.
Man.
I'm done and it's over. They're in town, and I'm fucking out of here. I'd rather go back to being a shoe shine boy than deal with this bunch of freaks and your fucked up shit."
That's why it smells like shoe polish.
Exactly. He paused for another moment, wildly scratching at his dark hair. Yeah, all right. I'll just collect the payment then." "All right. Well, fine." At this point, Kayla ducked away and back around the corner as quietly and quickly as she could, running at a sprint back towards the car. When she arrived, Rio had just finished pumping gas and was hanging the pump back up on its stand. "Look, guy I just met today, I don't know if I could trust you or not, because apparently you ate your mom or something, but, Kayla went on breathlessly, not giving Rio enough time to react to that, except with a hollow, aghast look on his face. That guy who drove us here isn't Indrid Cold. Whatever he told you was a lie. He was hired to bring us here by somebody, and I have no idea why now. The only thing in that store that hasn't expired is the rats, Myrtle said from behind them.
That's genius.
Walking up with her hands in her pockets and a wistful look on her face. Seems fine to me, Flinch said casually, drinking a thick brown slurry out of a can labeled New Coke.
It's gravy.
The guy who
From 1985.
The guy who drove us here isn't the real Indrid Cold. He's an imposter, Kayla said plainly to the group. That's cool. He was always more of your friend anyway. I don't really know him, Flinch said, burping. One of his eyes then slowly started to wander out of place until he shook his head, the pupil returning to the center.
What the
all right, you might be right that this is a little out of date. That is such an handsome thing to do, Myrtle said with a gigantic toothy smile, her pallid features brightening up instantly now that she could mention Kingdom Hearts. But not the handsome you might be thinking of.
Oh my god.
I want to go home so bad right now, Rio whimpered, rubbing his eyes with the palms of his hands. Why, to see your mom, Flinch said, taking another long sip of his new Coke.
Jesus.
All right, let's get this show on the road, the cold imposter said as he walked back up to the group. He held his arms out and ushered everyone back towards the gas station. Let's all head inside and see if we can find any supplies. We're headed into the Hornet's Nest now and won't have another chance before stopping the Blood Moon. The four others standing in the parking lot exchanged glances, and then Kayla began waving them together. Group huddle real quick. Fine, the cold imposter said, taking a few steps away from the group as they huddled up in a circle. No, nobody touch my butt or anything. I'd really hate if that had to happen, Flinch said, hiding a weird little grin the entire time. Now that's something the handsome you're thinking about would say, Myrtle said with a knowing little chuckle.
How do I hate her more than Flinch?
Look, you utter degenerates. What are we gonna do about this guy? Do we play along with him and go into town until we could see what his deal is or not? I don't think we have to worry about that anymore, Rio said plainly. What do you mean? Kayla said, surprised to hear him speak. Well, he's driving away right now. Everyone in the group huddle quickly stood back up and looked in the direction Rio was pointing. Surely enough, the cold impersonator was peeling the fuck out of the parking lot at full speed and swerving onto the highway. The car zoomed down the road like a rocket loosed from its silo, disappearing past the Welcome to Whitesville sign and back out of town. Damn. Well, that solves that problem then. Good job, team, Flinch said triumphantly. Everyone stared at him for a couple seconds in utter disbelief before continuing. Okay, now what? Rio asked. We're gonna have to get some help. I'm not sure if going into town now is the best idea or not. Who knows if the Acolytes are even going to be performing a Blood Moon ritual tonight or not now. This could have just all been an easy way to get their enemies in one place to kill them off, Kayla said, shaking her head. She paused and looked at Flinch for a moment before adding, and also you're here too, I guess. Acolytes? Rio questioned with a tilt of his head. Yeah, the Acolytes of the Third Birth, the weird-ass cult, the reason why we're all here because they're trying to kill us for one reason or another? Kayla said, increasing frustration in her voice as no recognition crossed Rio's face.
Did he even listen to the season?
He's not a fan, I don't know.
He's not a patron.
I've never heard of them, he said, shoving his hands into his jeans pockets. I was kidnapped by a human experimentation syndicate called Gestalt. Indrid Cold, or whoever the hell that was, told me that that we're all uniting to destroy them so that they can no longer hunt us and harm our loved ones. I thought you said you killed your mom, Flinch said, puzzled. Did they, hire you to do it or something? Are you, your own archenemy?
Fucking hell.
I think the fake cold played you, man, Kayla said. This has nothing to do with any shadowy science lab turning people into monsters or whatever. That's ridiculous kids fiction stuff. This is the real world. We're dealing with an eldritch cult trying to bring about doomsday by summoning an angel from the moon like it's a big egg. I don't have any cell service, Myrtle interrupted, holding her phone screen up to show everyone. I was trying to search the Kingdom Hearts wiki to see if Noctis222 had made any updates to my pages so I could report his dumb ass for shipping like always, but I can't. He's probably ruining the Roxas page right now. He belongs with Axel and she should know this! Can I go home now? I was supposed to give my mom her heart medicine 16 hours ago, Flinch muttered. Oh my god. The only other vehicle in this parking lot is that truck over there. Do you think whoever owns that'll be back? Myrtle pointed across the way. Sitting at the back edge of the parking lot near the tree line was a beat-up old Ford F-150 with an incredibly old rusted sign tacked to the driver's side door that read Matheson Repair Service in barely legible lettering. The windows were rolled down on either side of it, but no one was inside, and it looked like the truck had been there for quite some time. Look, we'll just call for help on the payphones. We just need 75 cents for a call. Kayla looked around the group, holding her hand out towards them. They all stared at her blankly.
Good luck.
Not one of you has 75 cents? You don't have it either, Rio said flatly, starting to get real tired of these three. I'm a millennial. None of us carry cash, she retorted.
Yeah.
Or have a home, or have a good relationship with your parents, or have any savings, Myrtle said with a grin.
Oh, shit.
I want this day to be over, Kayla muttered, turning and walking back towards the front doors of the old abandoned gas station. I want this life to be over. Myrtle quickly took off in pursuit of her employer, leaving Rio and Flinch standing there in silence in the middle of the parking lot. A long moment of quiet passed, the wind in the trees nearby the only sound, before Flinch opened his mouth to speak. Fuck off, Rio cut him off instantly. Flinch simply closed his mouth and looked away. Inside the store, the air was thick and musty, particulate floating around in the sparse light beams that penetrated the old smudged-over windows. The aisles were jagged, pushed aside or toppled over, and mold grew along the floor between them, grown from some long-forgotten food item or beverage left there to rot. Even though it was day outside, it was almost impossible to see anything in here besides what was within a few feet of you. The horrid, acrid smell dangling in the air was the only hint of just how bad it really was beyond your vision. Kayla searched through her jacket pockets and found that she had left the small flashlight in the car, which was now probably 25 miles from here at least. She cursed under her breath and squinted into the darkness, the bright shafts of light from outside only serving to make it darker and harder to see past them. She drew her cane out in front of her and began to tap it against the floor to check where she was going. She fumbled in the dark, trying not to touch anything on the way. She knew how most gas stations had their setup. The checkout was always somewhere close to the door, and if she could just score 3 quarters among the detritus, then they would be home free. The crunch of glass beneath her boots was not comforting the notion this place had already been ransacked, however. All the while, at the corner of her eye, a strange shaft of pure black stood in the very center of the room.
What?
She assumed that it had to be a support column, but every time she moved, it felt like the pure black monolith slowly moved along with her, twisting to face directly at her. After a few minutes, she wasn't assuming any longer. She was trying to convince herself. She tried to put it out of her mind and pressed on in the mottled shadows that enveloped her. She felt around the front display and found the opening to behind the checkout, the deathly silence in the air making the hair on the back of her neck stand up as she pushed around within it. It was quiet enough inside you could hear a pin drop. No wind, no motion, all-encompassing silence. I see you. No! Kayla lurched back away from the sound the sudden, deep, booming voice had emerged from, but instantly felt the ragged pain of sharp stone dig into her skin. Her entire body wrenched up from the ground and heaved through the air, the disorientation of the darkness only adding to the absolute horror of the fall. Crash! The glass gave way around her and splintered into every direction, her body slamming into the hard concrete and rolling along it, glass clattering the ground alongside her. She struggled to roll back over to look in the direction she had been thrown, her vision blurry at the edges as she coughed and retched the pain away desperately. From within the broken remnants of the front window of the gas station lobby, slowly came the hulking, horrendous form. The inky black within birthed the body slowly from its darkness, revealing jagged stone and chitinous scale overlapped over twisted and mangled flesh. 2 sets of glaring, smoldering red eyes pierced into her very being as the wet, chittering mandibles below them moved in syncopation, over row after row of serrated, yellowed teeth. Its massive clawed forearm emerged from the darkness, clamped tightly around the midsection of Myrtle Smelly, swaying back and forth in its grip and kicking her legs and thrashing her body against its confines. She let out a horrified scream and bashed at her captive to no avail. Kayla slowly pushed herself up to her hands or knees and coughed up a small pitch of black blood onto the ground before turning her eyes back up at her assailant. "Mr. Nero," she greeted, glaring through narrow eyes at the familiar hulking monstrosity before her. "Miss Hunter," it returned from somewhere deep within the mall behind its slithering mandibles. "Jesus fucking Christ, what is that?" Flinch called out, stepping rapidly back and behind Rio for protection. Like a human meat shield, really. A Flinch classic. A chrysalid, Rio called out, horrific recognition crossing his face, before slow confusion dawning on it a moment later. But not... It's not the same. It's... Ah! Myrtle screamed as the gigantic Mr. Nero hurled her through the air like a beanbag into the distance. She came down hard, slamming into the side of the old pickup truck near the tree line and causing it to shake on its axle from the strike, bouncing off and landing face down in the dirt. "Oh, fuck!" Kayla screamed out, turning her eyes back to Mr. Nero and unsheathing her sword from its cane scabbard. With incredible speed, she began to sprint forward, taking a running leap through the air at the massive horror that stood before her, only to be slapped out of the air by its massive bladed claw, slamming into the ground herself. "There is nowhere to run this time," a familiar voice said calmly, stepping out of the dark store interior behind Mr. Nero. The small man in a white suit took off his hat and fanned himself with it, a gigantic wide grin upon his round features, his eyes hidden by small black round sunglasses. Mr. Cornwallis sneered and chuckled to himself, tilting his head down to look around his massive compatriot. "No school to drop on top of Mr. Nero to slow him down this time." Mr. Nero's bladed fingers drove down into the ground on either side of Kayla's head and set themselves in the perfect formation to come together and rend her into a dozen pieces. Mr. Cornwallis's smile faded. "Kill her."
No!
But a scream ground the entire situation to a halt. Echoing off the trees around them, the voice was twisted and inhuman and cavernous, causing everyone who could turn their eyes to look in its direction to do so. Rio's body shook and convulsed, his eyes empty and his mouth drooped down unnaturally low from its jaw as if disconnected. His form folded over on itself, his muscles popping and bursting as they shifted around themselves.
Cricket Man!
Pushed and pressed from within, and then suddenly, like a balloon bursting, his entire body exploded into a grisly, horrific mess, revealing within it the monstrous form he was now doomed to walk the earth as for all his days just below the skin. Black and green, chitinous skin of its own, slick with blood and viscera, almost glittered in the remaining sunlight. Its elongated head was thrown back to the sky to release its horrendous screeching sound into the air at the mark of its own third birth. And once it was finally done screaming, it dropped its head down, its segmented red eyes glaring with an intensity and hatred neither Mr. Nero nor Mr. Cornwallis had ever seen before in their long, hateful lives. And then, like a bolt of lightning loosed from the sky, it was leaping towards Mr. Nero, its arm outstretched, a long, thin, sinewy blade jutting out of its flesh like a fresh wound. And then, to be continued.
No!
Oh!
What are you doing?
Dun, dun, dun!
This motherfucker is writing a 3-parter and he's driving me nuts.
Yep, this is the 3-part end of this story.
Jeff, can you stop writing so well? You're making us look bad.
I can start writing well. How about that?
Making you look bad, maybe.
Oh.
No,
I don't disagree with that.
No. You guys are
we
making
don't-
me look bad because you
we
have
don't-
better characters and you're funnier.
We
What?
don't do this. We don't do this anymore.
Yeah.
Yes, we do.
are
We do it every
supportive.
episode.
We're
We're better than this.
supportive.
We're lords now.
Yes, we are.
It's true.
Lords
Wait.
before boards. That's what I always say.
Oh man,
that was
that's
great.
good. Yeah.
Thank you.
Not like I like the dialogue and the characters carried the story when not technically a lot happened, and that's really good.
Yeah.
That's like the
That's
best
really
way to
good.
storytell. It's like
Yeah.
it's like those little snap episodes of like your favorite show where they just sit and talk for an hour and you don't realize how engaging it is.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, I
didn't
guess
say a
not
word.
much did happen. They mostly just wander around a parking lot.
Yeah,
But that's great, though.
But it's great that I didn't notice that was happening until the end. It's like, oh yeah.
Yeah, that's like
the dialogue carried it.
screenwriter-esque.
Yeah.
That's like a movie.
Thank you both. That
Yeah.
that means a lot.
You are most welcome. No, thank
you
you,
better
sir.
like I have to be mean because I don't know how to deal with feelings.
I understand.
Yeah,
I feel
yeah,
I
yeah.
feel like every time I'm doing Flinch's voice that I'm like 1 octave away from Flyman, and I'm trying my hardest to stay away from.
I mean, I think Flinch might be more of a degenerate than
oh,
Flyman.
true.
Yeah,
very
it's
true.
Like, Flyman hates himself, and that's like
Yeah.
pretty bad. But
Flinch
like
likes himself.
Yeah, he doesn't hate
I think
himself.
Flinch
Yeah.
it doesn't like himself so much as he's absolutely oblivious to the fact that there's anything wrong with him.
Yeah, like
Oh, wouldn't that
Flyman
be
used to
lovely?
be like, yo, that'd be great if you
Yeah,
were
it
like too
would.
stupid to know how shitty you were. Oh
Yeah.
my god, that'd be great. Ignorance is bliss.
Yeah.
It's true. Too bad we're the smartest boys in town.
Yeah, too bad I have like a 205 IQ.
Damn. I got
And
an
a
IQ of
205
400. Dr. Robotnik.
The machine
12th
hasn't
level.
been developed that can measure mine, so...
That's right.
You mean your IQ or
Brainiac
your
over here.
dick?
Either. Take
gotta get
measures,
an
take measures
electron
don't go that
microscope.
far.
It's so small they need an electron.
Oh.
Wow.
I'm
that
really
was
excited.
school level insult.
Fucking other Jeff's dick, Rich's dick is plank leg level.
Oh my god.
The smallest object that you can see.
Talk about quantum mechanics.
Yeah,
You need to use
quantum.
You need to use quantum mechanics to give this guy a hand job.
I mean, still getting a hand job.
That's true.
Still had sex.
I'm excited to kill several beloved characters.
No! Well, you can't kill Myrtle. She's not killable.
Yeah, she's
You can just, like, wheel her around in a wheelbarrow. She won't die.
She's killable.
You could put her in one of those cat bags. Just have her stick out, like BD1, just sticking out of a bag, right?
I did think how funny it would be if, like, she was just a head. But
Yeah.
then I was like, how does Kayla keep that a secret at Marshall?
Nah, it doesn't- she just has to pretend to be a specimen when people
Yeah.
come in. Just
I don't think
Close her
Myrtle would
eyes.
be good at that.
she'd be like, and then in Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah, if somebody comes
Yeah.
in and mentions Kingdom Hearts, then it's over.
You somehow made Myrtle worse than Flinch.
Yeah, I was gonna say that.
Know.
It was
don't know how you do
bad.
it.
It was bad.
I'm peeling back the layers of Myrtle. Like, everyone was like, "Ah, she's so you thought you made the worst character ever, but we love her." And I'm like, "Well, we'll see."
Yeah.
It was a challenge to Jeff.
Man.
Well, I hate Myrtle, so don't make her fun.
Will Flinch die?
God,
No.
I hope. I hope not.
He doesn't deserve that fate.
Yeah, he doesn't deserve the sweet release that we all do.
If I was gonna kill Flinch off, I'll give you the scoop here. I would have a situation arise where he could save the day by sacrificing himself, and he would refuse, and then he would just get killed off in a different way right afterwards.
Yeah, like instantly. Like Benny from The Mummy.
Exactly.
He's Benny from The Mummy.
He's got some Benny DNA in him, for sure.
Well, Benny's, like, smarter and funnier.
Yeah.
That's true. Flinch is a piece of shit. He's an
Less
idiot.
disgusting.
Who, ironically, those sorts of people tend to live longer.
Yeah. They let the disgusting fuel them.
I like the disbelief in Josh's voice when I did the fourth "you ate your mom" joke.
Yeah, it was harsh, man. I started feeling for him.
Yeah,
You're supposed
he's starting
to.
to kick the kid in the teeth when he's down. It's like, shit, man.
It's supposed to highlight that Rio's been through some horrible shit and he's affected by it, and that Flinch is a genuine piece of shit.
Yeah,
They all
it
are.
worked.
Yeah, we got it.
Yeah,
Well, yeah, that's the thing. Like, they all are kind of pieces of shit. Like,
Even
Kayla is so
Kayla.
unbelievably fed up with all this horse shit that she's taking it out on people left and right.
Yeah.
She needs therapy.
I like Donald Trump Indrid Cole with the makeup. He tries to do the voice and he's like, I'm fine.
I specifically did a different southern accent for him the whole time.
Well, like, now I'm like,
when
is
has
there
he
a
been
real
fake? Yeah,
Yeah, is there a real one? Because I feel like there is. Didn't one of them come through a portal or something once?
Well, I mean, that's up to interpretation at this point. We don't know, but Kayla believes there is, because as she points out, the first time she met Indrid Cole, she felt intensely uncomfortable and couldn't focus.
Yeah,
on
at the
anything.
train.
Yeah.
At the train, right?
Yeah, and she said that every time she's been around him since, it's felt the same, except being around
Now.
this guy.
this time, yeah. And
Maybe he's captured.
And he gave her the cane. Why would he give her the cane if he'd been
why would
fake
he
all
do
that
that?
time?
Yeah.
She stole the
Makes
cane.
sense.
Oh, she stole the cane. Yeah, you're
Yeah,
right.
that was in one
But
of
he
the
let her
stories.
have it, though, didn't
Yeah,
he? He was like, whatever.
like invited her into the world even by giving her his
Yeah.
business card
Yeah.
and saying that they
Yeah.
could work together in the future. And she's been
Yeah.
chasing after him ever since to
Yeah.
figure out what the fuck the society is.
He's not been fake this whole time.
No.
Or has he?
No.
Don't listen to Jeff. He doesn't know.
I don't know yet. I haven't written it.
Hasn't happened. We have 3 or 4 episodes left.
2.
We have 6 or 7 episodes
Yeah,
left.
it's-
So
10 or 12 more episodes.
You can have 6 or 7 of my inches down your neck if you're not careful.
I better keep saying it then, because that would suck.
thank you guys for enjoying my story.
No,
was great.
Thanks for writing it.
They all were great. Well, yeah, you guys were great.
Yours was also great.
All of them were great. Even mine. I'm going to be the bigger person here. I'm going to try and train you both to enjoy your own storytelling.
Okay,
Right.
be the dad
Good
that I
luck with
never
that
had.
shit.
I'm going to keep doing that. Now,
Good luck
it's
with that
widely known
shit.
it's widely known that I am the only good dad on earth. So
I've heard
That's
I've
true.
heard
That is true.
So,
What about your dad?
he's all right. But he was all right, and now he's taking
He's got some
fucking
proclivities
weirdo.
we don't approve of.
Yeah, exactly.
I was gonna ask about Father's Day and be like, what do you get the pedophile that has everything? to be fair, Rich's dad is not a pedophile.
No, he is absolutely
it's an
not.
inside joke. But
It's an inside joke.
Yeah.
My dad said something incredibly weird because he had a urinary tract infection, which is probably too much
That
information
makes
for the
sense.
podcast. But it gives you a temporary sort of like weird insanity.
dementia.
It's,
And it was really funny.
It was really funny.
Even though that sounds pretty dark, it was really
it was really funny. We talked about it for about 2 hours. It was so funny. Us three.
People in that fucking restaurant probably talked about it for 2 hours too.
Hell. I just yeah. Let's get off this because otherwise I'm going to have to tell the whole story.
Explain it. Yeah.
Right. So with those 3 stories done, we close the cover. on episode 24. Would you mind wheeling Promptbot out, that hoary piece of shit that just goes around to people's houses?
Damn, dude, you can go to people's houses and not be a whore.
I told it to go back to Josh and then threw it in the dumpster and wished it for the best. So
Well, he made his way through Philly, but we all know what happens when a robot goes through Philly. Let me wheel him out.
oh god, sounds bad.
Okay, first prompt, please, Promptbot. Towels.
Oh
By-
god.
By this one's been on the list since week 1. By Aaron, handsome intern Damrell.
Why is he
he a
handsome
handsome
intern?
Because that's his nickname from Tapon's Theatre on Subspace.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
Never changes. Next prompt, please. Promptbot, please a better one.
Go Phillies.
Oh.
It's been
Ow.
reprogrammed.
This is where I wished we did be dishonest. Outhouses by
Well, that takes care of itself.
Duncan. Something is rotten in the state of Daranos.
Is his name Duncan Daranos?
No, his name's Duncan. Just Duncan.
Oh, just
plain Duncan.
Okay.
So something is rotten.
Yeah.
in
Well,
the state of
towels and
Daranos.
outhouses wrap themselves up in a nice
Yeah.
bow.
Yeah, that's kind of nice.
Yeah.
How that's gonna fit, I don't know.
I have
Yeah,
no clue.
idea. Right, so we're finished with this show this week, but we'd like to say those prompts have bummed me out, man. I've got no energy
Are
to
finished
do
with the show this week.
Why
No,
couldn't
no,
it
no,
have
no,
been-
no. Thank you for the prompts. Those were great.
Those were great prompts. They are the best ones we've ever gotten.
Better than frogs and socks. And look what we got out of
Pretty
those.
close.
Towels is...
How the fuck are you gonna write about a towel?
Towely.
Oh no.
Hijoki gets a new cousin. A new cool cousin.
Yeah,
Comes in for
towel.
one episode.
Just a towel wearing sunglasses.
We'd like to say thank you to Vidison for the use of his music for the podcast, for the intro, outro, and some incidentals. You can find out everything about him, his music, schedule, inside leg measurement at vidison.card.co, and that's card with 2 R's. Now, if you want to do your duty as a person who lives in the land of the lords and suggest prompts to the Book of Blood, then you've got to head over to patreon.com/storylords, and for as little as $5 a month, you can join our super cool Discord, which is full of really nice people, read our stories when I get round to loading my other ones, and
It's only been 4 months.
yeah, and suggest prompts. We're moving fast
That's
past this
the
one.
big one.
For $10, you can get access to Redesign by Committee, our extra podcast where we redesign an existing IP. We've just done one. We've just recorded one. And spoilers, it's a good one. And
It was good.
It's... Should we tell them what it was?
No,
Oh,
they have
okay.
to find out.
You have to go to the Patreon to find out, dum-dums.
All right.
Yeah,
So-
dinguses.
It could be... It could be a movie. It could be a series. It could be a video game. We've never
Could be
done
all
a vid-
those.
Could be all of the... Yeah.
We could redesign your mama.
Shit. I don't
She'd
think
have-
we got time for that.
She'd have the biggest booty. It would be an extremity. It would be a
It'd be a
limb.
limb.
Be a limb.
Phantom limb.
For $20, for $20 small dollars, you get all that, the PDF of our upcoming book early, and a creator credit in the book itself.
Yeah, signed in blood.
Boy, I
it
am
is-
scared to death of that book and doing that. We'll see how that turns out.
Oh, it's
We'll
gonna
be alright. We'll be
terrifying.
alright. What I'm slightly concerned about is the length of the book at the moment.
Oh, yeah. It's going to be a big one.
69 pages, baby.
It's
Maybe
but-
420 pages.
Maybe. So being a patron of us is a no-brainer at this point. You literally being a loser by not doing it.
You're losing money by not paying us.
Yeah, you should sign up 7 times.
Yeah. If you want any other info about our show, you can head on over to storylords.card.co, again with 2 R's. And you can find out all about the show, all about us. Well, not all about us, but, you know, a healthy amount about us. And
how does Josh dress? Which way does it hang?
Yeah. It's left and right. It's so big.
Up.
That's
To
quantum
another
mechanics right
reality.
there.
But there's all the episode art. The episodes are on there as well. You can just click on them with the new fangled technology of the internet.
I had to choose between whether people could see the episode art or click on the episode to go to it, so I chose the episode art.
Oh, okay, fine.
But you can just go to we're on every fucking podcast service on Earth at this point.
We are, yeah, we're too good.
Also, SoundCloud.
Are we on Klugel?
Kegels?
Yeah.
Are we on Dingle?
Are we on
Yep.
Kegels?
Yeah.
Yep.
Are we?
We're always doing those Kegels.
Yeah.
So we could shoot out people's backs.
Yeah.
Yeah, shotgun style.
Next episode is the second to last episode of the season. But what I want to say is we promised a Q&A session, which we're going to do after the last episode. So if you want to get your questions into us, you need to go to storylordspod. You can't go there. You send your email to storylordspod@gmail.com. Questions about the podcast. We want to make it a full episode. Otherwise, we'll just ramble and just, you know, suck each other's dicks. So, which
Nobody wants that.
Oh, God, I hope we get so many questions.
But yeah, try and, just a proviso, try and make them questions that we can all answer. We don't want just loads of questions going to Jeff about horror, or me about sci-fi, or Josh about penis.
Or what it's like to be fired a lot.
You're going to find out again if you keep that attitude up.
Shit. I'm on thin ice. I better straighten up.
But we'd like that episode to be a bit of a sort of way in which that you guys can interact with us about the series and talk to us about what the episode's meant to you and any questions that you have where we possibly have left gaping plot holes.
Don't
No, don't do that. Don't do that.
Hmm.
We'll punish ourselves enough for that. You don't have to worry.
Unless you're a patron, you can do whatever you want.
Our stories are airtight. None of us have ever made a mistake.
No.
You can gape my plot hole if you give us $20.
Damn. I might become a patron.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we'd like you to take part in that episode. Not that episode that Josh just mentioned, the actual Q&A episode.
I have a question.
Yeah.
After the Q&A episode, which will be 27, are we going to do episode 28, or are we going to do season 2, episode 1?
Oh.
Crickets. Put in crickets here, Josh.
I mean, I know what I'm going to do, but I don't want to...
That's not even the question.
But
We can talk about this later.
Oh, I'm sorry. I don't want to get fired. I'm sorry.
You better straighten up. Like
straighten
that
up and
Henderson
fly right.
fellow.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
undecided for now.
I'm sorry,
But
Mr. Henderson.
Probably be better to do, like, start labeling the episode season 2, right?
I'm not doing that. We'll find out.
Then why the fuck did you ask?
We'll discuss it later then, I mean.
That's what I meant. That's what he meant. Yeah.
All right. Okay, guys. Thank you, as always, for listening. Jeff, Josh, do you want to promote anything?
Yes.
You've got the pledge
Listen to
drive
this
going
show.
on, don't you?
Yeah, I want to promote this because this episode will come out like on the 26th, I think. Yeah, it comes out on 26th. So M-Class Podcast will still be doing the Trek Boy Pride Pledge Drive 2023 to benefit the Trevor Project. Mm-hmm. And I would be remiss if I didn't point it out, and I would love it if people could take part in that and make it not fail horribly, which I'm worried about. There are 2 ways that you can help support the Trevor Project, which is a suicide prevention and resource hotline for LGBTQIA plus teens and youth. which is, if you haven't been on Twitter recently, has been under fire by like fucking dunderheads like Charlie Kirk and shit. So they need money more than ever. We have two ways, a roundabout way that gets you a bunch of extra content from M-Class Podcast for just your pledge, and a more direct way where you could say fuck you and just donate directly. The first way, you can head to patreon.com/mclasspodcast and become a patron or raise your existing pledge. Every dollar we make over what we had at the beginning of June will be directly donated to the Trevor Project at the end of the month in one huge sum under the name M-Class Podcast. We've done this 2 or 3 years in a row. Just like there are 2 or 3 episodes left, we forget.
We don't know.
But
no one can tell. We can't tell.
The lump sum that we donated last year was like $1,275, I believe. It was really cool to donate that. We've had some people who are donating directly, and we appreciate the hell out of you as well. You can go to our fundraiser page at give.thetrevorproject.org/mclasspodcast. And that gets added to the total of what we've donated the last couple years, because I think we're headed towards $30,000 at this point that we've donated.
Hell yeah!
And if you need just a place that you can go to have those links and that information at your fingertips, go to mclasspodcast.com.
Excellent.
Do all that. I don't have anything else to say about anything.
By Magic Mind.
That's not this show.
I mean, if he wants to send some Magic Mind this way, we'll happily do it here as well.
Oh, I love it, though. I need some.
I would love to see the look on his face when I'm like, yeah, there's a third guy now, and you have to send another box, and it's to England.
Yeah. How much is that going to cost? How many pounds is that going to cost?
How many advertisements do we have to do before that gets paid off?
How many euros? 0, because they don't use that anymore.
We never used it.
No, you didn't. When I went there, you guys were like, what? Euros?
Yeah,
I don't know.
Get some real money, bitch.
Yeah.
Get some pounds.
Yeah.
We call it pounds because that's how big my fucking dick is.
1 pound.
1 pound.
1 pound.
We have unusually high self-esteem in Britain.
That's I think that's it that I got to talk about this time. I mean, you can follow me on Twitter or not. I don't care.
Yeah, Twitter sucks, so
Same.
fuck it.
It might not. I might not even.
So
if I get a
shitty.
fucking Blue Sky invite, I am fucking out of here.
A blue ski? You going to blue ski?
I'm gonna go to Blue Ski.
You have to get an invite.
Yeah,
it's
you
fucking
get put on a waiting list if you try and just join it regularly.
Fuck that.
What the fuck is with that? Like, what's...
I'd
anyway.
like to think it's because they're like picking and choosing who gets to be on it, whether you're like a piece of shit or not. But like, I got to imagine it's just because they don't have the bandwidth to do all the people that want to join.
Well, I mean, nothing says be a little bit better than Twitter by an exclusive entry list. Fucking hell.
Look, I would rather live in the gated internet community than live next door to Elon Musk. Thank you very much.
True.
It's what do you do?
I gotta have some type of social
unfortunately.
media or I can't do my job, which blows.
Yeah, it sucks.
And is Spoutable good yet? Is anyone
I'm
there?
getting a live
Some people
journal,
like
I
it.
think.
Go back to MySpace. Friendster all the way,
Friendster.
Club Penguin.
I just mentioned Club Penguin last night.
Meet you at Club Penguin, everyone.
Yeah, Club Penguin.
He mentioned Club Penguin when I said I would have to overclock my computer to play Pajama Sam.
Club Penguin. Snood.
Yeah, I've loaded up Snood. Give me a couple
Remember
hours.
Snood? Did you guys have Snood in England? I mean, I never
No.
had it, but
What is
it's
it?
like, it's like Dr. Mario sort of, but you shoot the little snoods at other snoods.
I mean, you're just saying the same word over again. What is snood? You shoot a snood at another snood.
You
Snood,
shoot a snood.
You shoot a
I'll
Snood and
send you
another
a video.
Snood. What are you not getting?
Yeah, I don't understand what you're not getting. Are we losing something in the
It's
translation?
fucking
Possibly.
Bubble Bobble. They're not Bubble Bobble.
yeah.
It's Puyo Pop is what it is.
Here,
Right,
I
okay.
found it. Windows Game 1996. I'm sending you the video on YouTube. Do you know what that is,
I
Grandpa?
do. Snood Tube. Yeah, of course I know what Snood
I'm a
Tube
big
is.
fan of you calling the man Grandpa for not knowing Snood.
You don't know what this game from 30 years ago is? You fucking millennial.
Snoods are vaguely racist caricature faces that you shoot at each other.
They are kind of, now that I think about it. I never thought about it. Here you go.
Oh, yeah.
that from
I'm the
Guardian?
villain for not knowing this. Oh, yeah. I do know
I
that.
agree.
I do know
I
that.
agree that you're the villain.
I'm always the villain.
That's why you're
Anyone
English.
who was
It's just it.
anyone who was dating anyone at this point had that person playing this. I feel like everyone's girlfriend was playing Snood.
It's the then day Zoomer.
A snooter?
Yep. Did you ever play Zoomer? The thing with the thing that was like Aztec with the frog in the middle, shooting the.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Everyone
Yes.
was addicted to that. Everyone's girlfriends was addicted to that for a little while.
Yep. They were at college not doing their homework
Yeah.
playing this.
I was
Yeah.
playing Tetris Friends in college, which was the online competitive Tetris.
I was playing Never Go to Class.
And Tetris Friends got shut down, I gotta imagine, by whoever owns Tetris.
My roommate at university had the biggest entertainment setup
Dick.
because he was a rich boy, and we
Yeah.
always used to just sit in his room because he had the biggest room as well in the house, and played Halo 3 religiously.
Oh, that sounds
Like,
so good.
Oh, yeah.
It was so good. He was a good roommate. He wasn't a dick.
I had
he shared
in
his
college
wealth
in
around.
2006, actually 2009, in college because I had to work a couple years to afford college. But like in 2009, I had a fucking tube TV, like a giant fucking brick ass square tube TV in my dorm.
Dude, did you just leave it when you left? We were like, that's
I
someone
threw it in
else's
the dumpster when I left.
problem. Yeah.
Let someone else get cancer from this now.
Yeah.
And
Fuck you.
ironically, like eventually, I started buying up like old games and stuff and playing them on like the 3-in-1 systems.
Yeah.
And being like, oh, I need to have a CRT for this, and I threw mine in a dumpster.
Threw it out. I had like a 300-pound Sony, like one of the first flat screens that they made.
Oh my
And it
God.
still was a tube. It weighed 290
Yeah,
pounds.
yeah, flat screen,
That
but
shit.
still,
Yep.
yeah,
Still tube.
bulky at the
All
back
right,
as well.
This
It's
fucking
huge.
Grandpa's Go Down Memory Lane section of the podcast is brought to you by the M-Class Podcast Trek Boy Pride Drive. Go over there
Yeah.
and donate for how much we run our mouths.
We
Yeah, what?
we let a little peek behind the curtain there because this is what the conversation normally descends to after we record.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right. So, guys, we have 2 more episodes left this season. We hope you're looking
We
forward
sure
to the
about
next episode. Shut the fuck up. We hope
gonna
you're looking forward to it as much as we are. Lots of death next week, I
Oh,
predict.
God.
What?
Have
Why?
fun this fortnight, and we'll see you in 2 weeks. Bye.
Bye-bye.
You guys play Fortnite?